Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Untitled Sickos Project, where, God, you gotta love the West Coast, full of them needles and their wokeness and their shitty basketball organizations that trade for elite tier players because some owners here in CST want to be a dumbass and trade away their best player. And also the disappointment known as the LA Clippers and the Portland Trailblazers. Oh yeah, and I guess the Supersonics left too.
Please shut up.
Anywho, I am Bears fan alongside six of my lovely co-hosts, Magnum Trash, the Lone Freeman, Nickman, Cross Ren, Kamane, and the one who's hosting it all. He's the biggest Rams fan I know, the MaskedAura. But before I get even more weird looks put towards my way by saying a mere joke and having a misinput, and they must calm down. As usual, we have our welcome mat, and not really much has gone on in terms of our much. What the fuck? Well, not much has really gone on with the in the sports sphere, but there is one team that I kind of want to talk about because I think it's just funny to point and laugh at them. Guys, believe it or not, the Mets were once 63 and 58, and not 60. Not the Mets were once 63 and 48 about a couple weeks ago. You want to know where the record stands at right now, chat?
Still too high.
64 and 57.
You shouldn't be laughing. We're Cubs fans. We're kind of not doing.
Why do you think I've been saying God bless the Mets? They just blew another lead
to the Mariners.
Talk about New York, chat. Chat. I think if the Yankees and Mets are towers, I think both of them went down because fuck me, bro. Both these New York teams have been fuck. I don't know what happened to them.
How do you lose to the Braves, who have been on a downward spiral since their conception this year? Not to mention too,
national tragedy
since their conception
later
this
in the
year?
podcast.
They're losing to the Giants, who are also downward spiraling. The Cleveland Guardians, who have no vision at all, other than, I don't know, we're trying to compete for the AL Central when the Tigers are clearly out of their league.
I don't know.
And then
gambling allegations. We can't forget the gambling.
The Guardians are doing pretty good right now, right?
Yeah, they are
right, but they sucked in July, so that's all I got to go off of. And then, not to mention too, they got their ass kicked by the Padres. The Padres took the lead.
The Padres took the lead in the division.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. You think that they win one of those games, but they've been swept. They've been swept a total of 1, 2, 3 times within the last month, and that's not a good recipe for winning. It's also not a very good recipe to be losing like they have been, because the way that they've been losing has been pretty embarrassing. Believe it or not, they've lost by 1-score games throughout this 10-game period 5 times. That is almost unheard of.
Yeah, it's not getting better right now. Wow, this game is something.
Yeah, Pete Alonso and Juan Soto can hit all the home runs they want. Unfortunately, they play for the Mets.
Yeah, but do you want to know who came in for the Mets at the start of the inning?
Who?
Ryan Helsley.
Oh my god.
In September. I mean, that's a
It's
fair
just
thing to do. I mean, all that's gonna matter is what's the playoff bracket gonna look like and what's gonna happen from there. That's all that's gonna matter at the end of the day. But yeah, it's this playoff race is truly the comedic shit show that the current times deserve.
speaking of team, and I wanted to talk about the inverse end, a team that can't stop fucking winning. Guys, the Brewers were down 8-1 in the second inning. They are now winning 10-8 right now. I'm
That's nice.
tired of this shit. The Reds. A shit bullpen, but a bullpen. They scored 5 runs. They scored 7 runs in 2 innings. I'm tired of the fucking Brewers, and I get
Wasn't even
skill
the bull-
issue and everything.
Wasn't even
Listen, the laws
bullpen.
of losing do not apply to the Milwaukee Brewers. That's just the way this works. It doesn't apply.
Till it's October.
True. Yeah, they're just cruising around. Listen, I just accepted with the Brewers that they've pretty much stolen the Cardinals' regular season devil magic, which is how they constantly are able to do this. And I emphasize regular season devil magic for a reason.
Have you considered just enjoying nice things and rooting for good teams and being classy for once in your life?
Guys.
Name 5
I'd love
Brewers
to.
players.
No one will say anything. I had to spark an
Fun.
entrance.
Break.
Too much banging. They're loud and noisy.
All I'm just gonna say is, believe it or not, the only other team that's really been interesting to talk about is the Yankees, and the fact that they're so fluctuating so bad that they're damn near bipolar at this point. They want to be really good, and then they want to be really bad. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! Goldschmidt hit a home run, and our pitching core decides to go into pieces. Awesome.
Hey, look, you're not muted, are you? Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure, because Josco said in chat, I think someone is muted.
Oh.
Freeman's muted.
No, but I'm not. Does it do anything if I
muted the entire
mute
time? What are
button?
you
No.
talking about?
Uh-oh. Was he muted all the time? Oh my god.
I wasn't talking.
No, not
No,
you.
no,
I
no,
think.
no. It was me with OBS. I. God damn it. Sorry.
Get back in the lab, Unk.
It's
Get
okay.
back.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't say anything that's important.
It's okay.
anyways.
It's okay.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't say
okay.
Okay, but yeah, this is all just to say, man, baseball is a really funny sport. Because remember when the Yankees were like in first place, and now they're getting threatened by the Texas Rangers? And even though I just said
their
them,
team sucks.
Why are you saying
Oh,
the
no.
Rangers? The
Remember when-
Rangers, they can't hit.
They're
No, but
3.5 games.
remember when people were talking about how like people were comparing torpedo bats to steroids at the start of the season.
I
Like
mean, it's
that
worked
was
for Cal
baseball to start the
Raleigh.
year. It was baseball at the start of the year, but we actually want to talk about funny baseball related content. Let's talk about the Angels sweeping the Dodgers this season.
That triple play will live in infamy.
The Dodgers are somehow playing second fiddle to little brother San Diego right now. It is really funny.
Yeah. It's really, it's pretty funny. Yeah, it is. That is.
What's
And then the thing about the Dodgers getting swept is like I can write I just write up easily. I just baseball being a little silly, you know.
Oh yeah.
Little
Yeah, but it's just
goofballs.
it's
Baseball
so
is
funny
stupid,
because the
man.
NL and AL have basically switched this year. The AL, it is literally anyone's race to get in, and then the NL this year, there's only like 7 teams who are really fighting for a spot, and everyone else just kind of sucks.
Yeah. Indeed. That is 1,000% correct.
But I will say this: you want to know what's even funnier? The Rockies beating the Cardinals. Haha, fuck you, Cardinals. You suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. Go suck on your shitty ass goddamn World Series rings, you bitch.
We're gonna be talking about more Cardinals anyway.
Oh yeah, true. Well, speaking of which, yeah, the NFC West are probably second biggest one in terms of fans here. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's the South. But still, the West is very funny. And by decree of me, I'm going to be starting off with the San Francisco 49ers because we're saving the Seahawks till probably later. I have other plans I want to say for other teams. And simply put, I have almost a six.
Hold on. What red hat are you wearing? Are you wearing a 49ers hat or are you wearing the other one?
I'm wearing a Bears hat. Thank you very much.
Okay, just got to make sure because if
Fuck this. Fuck
Nick Bosa. Just putting that out there.
True. But yes,
Okay, talk
guys.
about your favorite 9-8 team.
Okay, fuck you. Anywho, the San Francisco 49ers, some of their key additions this year, they extended Fred Warner. They signed safety Jason Pinnock from the Giants. I'll save this guy for last because there's 53 million reasons that I want to talk about. They signed wide receiver Demarcus Robinson from the Rams. They re-signed tight end George Kittle. They re-signed fullback Kyle Juszczyk. They signed future Jaguars quarterback again, Mac Jones. They re-signed Sam Okuyuni. I have no idea how to say it, so I'm not going to say it. Edge rusher. They signed tight end Luke Farrell. They signed the worst running back behind Alexander Madison, Amir Abdullah, from the Raiders. They re-signed long snapper John Weeks. They signed punter Thomas Morstead. They signed edge rusher from the Eagles, Bryce Hupp, and they signed cornerback Trey Brown from the Seahawks, and they signed Evan Anderson, interior D-line from the Brainwork right now. Brainwork, please. They just re-signed him. And, oh yeah, I guess in other minor news, Joshua Dobbs left that team to go to the Patriots. So, now we'll go over to some notable departures from them. With a fantastic contract, Aaron Banks goes to the Packers. Devondre Campbell is unfortunately homeless. Tre'Davious Ward goes to Indianapolis. Deebo Samuel gets traded to the Commanders. Leonard Floyd goes to the Falcons. Isaac Yiadom goes to the Saints. Jordan Mason goes to the Vikings. Eric Saubert goes to the Seahawks. Talonga Fuanga goes to the Broncos. Their long snapper Tabor Pepper is homeless, and Their punter Mitch Wishnowsky is also homeless. And also, their punter Pat O'Donnell is also homeless. How many fucking punters does this team have? But yeah,
Ooh,
now
apparently.
Now finally going to the San Francisco 49ers draft picks. In the first round, the San Francisco 49ers, I almost said Arizona Cardinals, go ahead and take a defensive tackle Michael Williams from the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's hope he doesn't have a driver's license. They select in the second round Alfred Collins, defensive line from Texas. In the third round, they select linebacker Nick Martin from Oklahoma State. In the third round again, they draft cornerback Upton Stout from Western Kentucky. In the fourth round, they select defensive line C.J. West from Indiana. In the fourth round again, they draft wide receiver Jordan Watkins from, I believe that's Ole Miss. Yep. In the fifth round, they draft a running back Jordan James from Oregon. And in the fifth round, they draft safety Marquez Sigil from I think that's Kansas State. Yep. And last but not least, second to last pick, they draft quarterback Curtis Rourke from Indiana. And then they have two more fucking draft picks, both of them 7th rounds. They select offensive lineman Connor Colby from Iowa. He'll be a future All-Pro because he's from Iowa. And last but not least, they draft wide receiver Junior Bergen from Montana. And finally, after all that being said and done, we get to discuss Mr. Moneybags in the room. I have 53 million reasons as to... I have 53 million opinions on that Brock Purdy extension. But in all fairness, I will let somebody else go first.
No, I want you to go first.
Like, you're not going to be glazing the Bears overpaying Williams in 3 years.
Anywho, here's the thing. I do not... Oh,
Can't
go
let
ahead.
the Iowa fan talk about Brock Purdy first. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Oh no, I will.
No, he actively hates Brock Purdy.
I'm gonna be
so...
no. Shut up.
No,
I'm going
you
to
just
be
said you had
objectively
53
Shush. I'm going to speak now. I'm going to say this. I think Brock Purdy signing with the Niners makes a ton of sense, and I think Brock Purdy could very well be a Jared Goff-esque quarterback, a guy that gets you somewhere, but he's not the reason you win. I do not mind that Brock Purdy gets an extension because it makes sense. He's in the system. I understand. And I get the quarterback market is very fluctuating. And if you don't pay him now, you're going to pay more in the future. But with how many quarterbacks this fucking team develops out of their ass, genuinely... I'm iffy about the Brock Purdy extension. I don't think it's bad. I think for what they're doing, it is a completely smart thing to do. I just don't trust Brock Purdy as the long-term starter. But he can prove that wrong to me. I do not hate Brock Purdy. I think he's probably a good guy, and I can guarantee you he has done stuff to help the Niners succeed. That being said, he is the third best quarterback athletically in that division, and the only person behind him is Sam Darnold, and that's just because we don't know what he can do with that team yet.
I mean, this. Okay, you know what? I was debating whether or not I could do this. Guys, Brock Purdy's so good, though. He led the Niners to a Super Bowl. He so deserves every penny of that contract. I love the fact that they paid Brock Purdy just so much money. I think they should have made that contract fully guaranteed with how good he plays. I'm so happy that they paid Brock Purdy all that money. He deserves it. Think of all the good he does for the city. Leads them to Super Bowls. Just think of all that one Super Bowl and a conference championship the year before that. How could we forget that? Oh my god! We are underestimating the value that Brock Purdy brings to the San Francisco 49ers. Like, holy smacks, and what a great move trading away Deebo Samuel for pennies. I love the fact that they decided that, nah, we don't need to use our Swiss Army knife. Instead of trading away a Brandon Ayuk that really doesn't do much for our team, let's give him a bunch of money. Because Brandon Ayuk so deserves it, and you know what? He's rewarded us already by tearing his ACL. What a guy! Oh my, what a guy! He tore his ACL. He's not going to be even at 100% until the start of next season. What a great deal, you guys! We did such a great deal that we're hoping that
Injuries
somehow
happen.
Greg Jennings, talented guy. They need to pay the man. He says he deserves more money.
Greg Jennings.
Greg Jennings.
Greg Jennings down the
put the team on
sideline.
his fucking back.
Yeah, I so
Jawan-
agree. He put his
Jawan
team on
Jennings.
his back. They need
Jawan
to pay him
Jennings,
30.
Luke.
Sorry, Jawan Jennings. They need to pay him even more money. Like, what is this? What is this penny pinching nonsense?
I need to use that for my immaculate grits in the future. I didn't know Greg Jennings was a Niner.
Sorry, I had a misinput. That was my bad. Oh man, and Ricky Pearsall, he could be so good. Oh man, he's such what a good guy. I really hope he remembered when he got robbed in broad daylight and will go somewhere else. Like, oh man, I hope he leaves the team in free agency. Golly, and I mean George Kittle, they gave him an extension because he plays just so many games per year. My goodness gracious!
God, this is a lot of vinegar.
The Niners have made so many great moves in the offseason that, holy smokes, I think this team is going to do some fantastic things. CMC did under experimental surgery. I sure hope it. I hope it does work out well. CMC is a great guy, but they're relying on CMC. The fact that they're relying on a CMC who had to go through devil magic again. Oh, such a great move by this organization. I love what they've done here.
Hey, Luke, you seem oddly cheery about the 49ers.
Why wouldn't I be oddly cheery about a division rival? Because they do so much good moves.
Hey, don't forget Ray McCloud. That was such a good pickup back in the day.
What a great pickup Ray McCloud was. Man, they really underutilized Ray McCloud. Okay, I've done. Okay, everybody gets the joke.
Look, while you keep overdosing on that, I guess I should give my input on. I guess I should give my input on literally everything that's going on with the Niners, because clearly, if you can't tell, a lot has been going on with this team. So, what are my thoughts on the Brock Purdy extension? I'm just gonna be honest. I don't really care. I don't really care for the simple fact that it feels like every quarterback, no matter what the concerns are regarding how great they can actually be, or if this is going to backfire or not, every quarterback has been getting that contract, and Brock Purdy is no exception. He's not the only guy to get that contract. Jared Goff, Tua, Trevor, Jordan Love, Dak, of course, can't forget Dak Prescott. And it's like, I get why the Niners did what they did. I feel like, in terms of what the alternatives are, because you always got to remember what the alternatives are, chances are the Niners would have ended up in a very bad situation if they didn't give Brock Purdy enough money to live in the Bay Area, which at minimum is what the 49ers needed to do here.
He might be able to afford a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
I mean, look at it this way. He was making less than... He had to room with another player on the team, and he's your franchise quarterback.
Oh no, I'm so glad that he got paid.
insane.
He deserved that. He deserves to get paid because he did well. I just don't think that in paying him that much money is exactly the right move when you could probably develop a guy, because like legitimately
I don't know. It depends on what the quarterback class is.
Based on what options they had, like what would like the Niners even draft? Like Jalen
Shador
Milroe?
Sanders. He was a first round projection.
I mean,
Well,
the
he's
way
right
how I
there.
see it
I mean, to
is...
be fair, hold on. To be fair, considering how things are going, there's always a chance Shadur could end up with the Niners.
True.
That is... Oh, shit. I didn't think about that, because I said last
I mean,
Oh
like,
my-
Purdy. I mean, say what you want. Like that offense lives and dies by Purdy at this point, and like if you try to get someone else or rely on like Mac fucking Jones of all people, like yeah, I take Purdy because like I don't want to risk the chance of like of this like raw QB, which I guess was Purdy, but like that wasn't the plan.
Right,
Mac
it-
Jones.
It's
Hey, we don't slander Mac Jones here. He helped Brian Thomas Jr. get like top 5 receiving yards last
Oh
year.
man, how could I forget? How could I forget Pro Bowler Mac Jones? I'm sorry.
Respect Matt Jones. He lost the game to Matt Eberflus.
No. Respect Mac Jones. You want to know who else was also a Pro Bowl quarterback on that team? Sam Darnold. Did he make the Pro Bowl while he was on the team or beforehand? No, but he made the Pro Bowl after.
Listen, respect Matt Jones. He got benched by Bailey Zapp. Bailey Zappi.
Respect
on
Mac
the-
Jones. He
Yeah,
might
Mac-
not even
yeah,
be
the
better
Mac
than
Jones clone.
DEI.
Mac Jones clone.
Listen,
might not even
on
be
the
better than
conversation though.
Tim
Like,
Boyle.
on the actual conversation though, okay, let's not go that far. Tim Boyle is a different god when it comes to football. But
beast.
anyways, getting back on the main conversation, I think it just says more about like the quarterback market. And Brock Purdy is just another example of what the quarterback market looks like. And it's a market that's not going to be changing because this is, as we've seen with some of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, this is just the way it is. And I don't expect it to be getting any better. Now, in terms of like other things that were brought up with the 49ers, yeah, I'm mixed on the whole Debo and Brandon Ayuk situation. I'm definitely mixed on it because here's the thing. I get why they moved off of Debo because from everything I heard last season, it really felt like Debo was both half-assing it out there and from all accounts, it sounds like he was really not vibing in that locker room. Like there were serious locker room serious claims of locker room cancer vibes with Debo last year. And in that case, I completely get why they moved off of Debo. And sure, you could have gotten a better return for him, but I'm going to be honest, I've seen worse returns for wide receivers before, looking at the Cowboys and Amari Cooper, for example. But at the same time, I understand why they moved off of him. And if I'm actually, no. I'll save that conversation for Monday. Or not Monday,
if you
Sunday.
look at locker
But,
room
like
problems, you had their middle linebacker. He wasn't producing about as well.
I mean, it's just
yeah, true. It's just
the
my
issue-
issue with it is not how they handle Debo. I think if the Niners, for me to really like it, because as much as I like getting rid of Debo, I don't like that Ayuk's still on the roster. And I get why he's still there because look at that contract. Who's really going to want to take that? But if he was also off the roster, then I would honestly like the situation, or I would like how they handled that. But he's not off the roster, and he's still a problem that the Niners currently have to deal with.
Now, granted, the injury isn't his fault, and I still think paying Ayuk at the time is the right idea because Ayuk is a younger wide receiver than Debo is. Debo is, I think on here it says that he's 32. Oh no, he's 29. Debo Samuel is reaching his heyday in most wide receivers. Like, most wide receivers don't make it till you're 30. You hit 28, and you're 9 times out of 10 out of the league. Debo is the rare exception where he is somewhat producing at the hit of his 30s. And he doesn't have that much longer.
Evans.
Right, but like those guys are in a different league than Debo. Debo is a good wide receiver still. He's not an elite wide receiver still.
I mean, he's a talented wide receiver. It's just he's not someone you'd really want to be your number one guy in 2025. But as I said, that's a conversation for Sunday. But like in terms of other stuff with the Niners, I mean, you know, I feel like George Kittle has kind of gone under the radar because of the Niners' struggles last season because he was one of the few things to actually go right for the 49ers last season because he
True.
arguably had one of his best seasons.
And he only played like 12 games, I think. He was still out for some of them.
He played 15.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I do remember that he was hurt a little bit last year as well. It's just, there's not a lot of hope, I think, for this Niners team compared to most other teams. Because you just lost some of your better defensive players. Talonga Hufuanga was one of the better safeties and led that team to the Super Bowl the previous year. He was one of the cornerstones on that one. And also, I forgot to mention, Dre Greenlaw also went to the Broncos, and he tore his ACL or Achilles or whatever in the Super Bowl, and he came back this year and played for a couple snaps. But like, those were two cornerstones on that team, and now they're on the Broncos. Not to mention too, their D-line did get weaker because Javon Kinlaw, not Javon. Is it Javon? No, Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave is a decent lineman, but I believe he got hurt last year too. Not to mention too, pretty much everyone else on that line is not that great, other than Nick Bosa. And Nick Bosa, I mean, he's good, but he's not going to be one of the greats in the league.
No, his talent
No.
is that level. It's just Nick Bosa is also Nick Bosa, and yeah.
I think
Still-
you're just discrediting him because he's, Nick Bosa.
My bad.
I think that.
But
I mean,
still,
the thing with the Niners
Tre'Davious-
defense.
losing.
Sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say losing Tre'Davious Ward too. He was their cornerback last year. He was the go-to guy that they threw to, and he was their best corner. Losing him, that's a struggle, and it's just this team is gutted on defense. And on the offensive side too, you have a wide receiver who can't stay healthy. Jawan Jennings, who wants to get paid wide receiver 1 money, which that's a story for another day. A rookie Pearsall who had shit that affected him that's not his fault. An offensive line who lost one of their starters, and with an aging Trent Williams, who is still good, but they're just still not getting to where they were. A running back who has basically does not have a leg at this point, and a quarterback who, in spite of the situation, has done pretty decent, but is never going to be that guy where the rest of these other quarterbacks will be. It's not a recipe for success, and rather a recipe of please don't fuck up, please don't fuck up, please don't fuck up, and you're never not going to fuck up in football.
I mean, it's just the thing with the Niners defense is it really is just basically Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, and basically just a bunch of question marks. Because I look at the Niners defense, and there's going to be a lot of rookies that are probably going to be getting a lot of time on this defense. And to be honest, I think considering the current system of the Niners going back to Robert Saleh as your defensive coordinator, I do think in terms of these rookies, I think that's the best system for them to enter because honestly, I feel like the vibes I get from the Niners are they feel like they're kind of in like a transition year. Like this gives me a lot of transition year vibes where it feels like the Niners are searching for something, and this is a season where your hope is that it gives you a direction of what to go in with the roster that you have. Because if there was a big storyline that I saw with the Niners defense last year, it's that their defense it was pretty terrible. And there's a reason that Nick Sorensen was one and done as a defensive coordinator. And granted, I think the Niners defense is going to have plenty of flaws, definitely. But I think in terms of what is the best strategy for them to go towards, moving forward, I think in terms of like having a lot of having a lot of young players on defense and seeing what they can do, surrounded by, Warner and Bosa, is one of the better strategies that you can do. And granted, I don't like that they got rid of Fuaga. I don't like that they got rid of him. I think that was, in terms of the moves they made on defense, that was probably that's probably a guy you'd really want to keep on your roster. And at least with Greenlaw, I can understand he's coming off a serious injury, but at the same time, there's a lot of holes definitely on the defense. As for like the O line, I mean, I don't think their O line. I think their O line actually is getting a bit better, and I say that because Dominic Puny, who was their rookie O lineman drafted from Kansas last year, had a pretty strong season, and I know that Trent Williams is getting older, but overall, I do feel like their O line, while not a perfect O line by any means, there is still good things with the O line. It's just I feel like the Niners, just looking at their roster right now, they're not in a position to compete this season unless literally everything goes right for them.
Yeah.
And knowing the Niners, if you've paid attention to them, betting on everything going right for them is a bet you should really not make, especially on the injury side of things.
Yeah, not to mention, I will say this, and this goes for every single NFC West team. If I can give any of these teams one thing, their schedules are definitely the weakest. Not to mention, this is the most confusing division where anyone can kind of do anything. But they drew the NFC South and the NFC and the AFC South, two of the worst divisions in their respective divisions. In the respective conferences, I mean. So it pretty much just comes down to, can you win your games against struggling teams as well? And the Niners, they faced struggling teams and they still didn't do too well. I think as of now, I think Kyle Shanahan is safe with his job. But if he does not have a good season next year, going into next season, he may be on the hot seat. And this all just depends on how this year looks. Because next year might be Super Bowl or bust, depending on how this year goes.
Yeah, it really depends. And it's just, I think in terms of Shanahan, it's more just like, I think right now, compared to what the other options are, your best option is just to roll with what you have. And considering the Niners' history of coaches and how they handled something similar to this the last time, there's a certain road, a certain path that you wouldn't want to go down.
Anyone else had anything else to say about the Niners? I'm sure one person here would like to rip into Kyle Shanahan real quick.
Fucking hate the Niners. Fuck the. Holy fuck, they're boys. I hate the fucking Niners and their dog shit fucking team. They can go fuck themselves there, boy. Give your fucking balls a tug.
Luke, tell your son to be quiet. Luke, tell your son to be quiet.
Fuck you there, bud.
Worst fan base in the
No-
NFL.
True.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, all right.
Niners
Now
fans,
you had me
wow.
being petty. I mean, a
Am I
little
allowed to
petty
say
asshole.
things?
Okay, go say
What?
it.
In potentially the most 9-8 coded division I've ever seen, I think that the 49ers are the most 9-8 coded out of the four teams.
I
I
guess.
think this
Funny
is
enough,
still kind of their division
kind
to
of-
lose, honestly.
Funny enough, like in my little thing, my prediction, I have the Niners winning the division as 9-8. So
Yeah,
You have
they're
them,
gonna
like-
win the division at 9-8, which means unfortunately we have one of the two NFC Championship game teams decided. Because they either just flame out in a fashion that makes
they're winning the Super Bowl. I
Aura
don't know what,
very
I don't know what
happy,
you mean.
I
or
fucking
they
hate
make the
the
NFC
Niners,
Championship
boys.
game and beat the Packers in the playoffs. So I'm personally rooting against it so that I can have my heart broken by another team for a change. And
Bears,
ideally
Bears,
not-
Bears, 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 Bears.
Yeah, you want to talk about how that last playoff game went for you, buddy?
Bears, 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 Bears. We'll get to that next Friday, Bears. Anywho, Ren, yap about Kyle Shanahan and how much you hate him, because I wanted you to do this for a while.
I don't hate Kyle Shanahan.
You hate him because of the Super Bowl.
I almost said a bad thing. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth.
Like out of people, man. Don't try to like force.
I don't hate that. Why would I hate Kyle? Listen, what's in it? Listen, what's done is done. See, this is the problem. Bring up old shit. You know, like bring up old shit. Like, okay, listen. I don't hate Kyle Shanahan. I think maybe his job may be on the line, but like, I think it's just because they probably need a little different. Because, you know, hey champ, being as I so eloquently put it, being Mahomes' bitch 2 times is not fun, and I only think they're on the hot seat because it's like, hey, you're Mahomes' bitch twice. Poor Niners fans it must be sucks to be a Niners fan, but like no, I don't know. I have them going. I did a little prediction. They're going 6-10, whatever. I don't see the Niners doing too well. I was waiting for the two dipshits that started off to finish, but I don't think paying Brock Purdy was that bad because like you know, hey, a 7th round rookie quarterback or a 7th round quarterback got you to an NFC Championship game. Probably could have beat the Eagles if he didn't get injured, and then got to the Super Bowl. So like, you know, hey, do you think Mac Jones would have done that? I don't think so. Brock Purdy just had something where he's like, hey, he may not be the next fucking Montana, but at least he's going to be a guy that if they, you know, didn't trade with their weapons or whatnot, you know, could probably get you to at least win your division, to feel comfortable, not like, you know, shit the bed. So that's why I'm like, so I think, you know, hey, pay Purdy, go ahead. He did something well for you, especially in this thing where it's like, finding a franchise guy is kind of hard to do because you see fucking, you know, you see quarterbacks getting tossed around like a college girl. So like, you know, let's go ahead and lock up a guy to, you know, lock up the guy that has at least proven he can do something compared to fucking, you know, the others.
I will say one last thing about that's nice about Brock Purdy. You know what he might be? And I kind of just realized this. He might just be Alex Smith. Also,
when you have to say one more nice thing about Brock Purdy, buddy, it's okay to say you have a disdain for it. You can make it so active that's like, no, I don't hate him. I
don't hate Brock Purdy. I think he's a fairly nice guy. I just hate the Niners, and that hate is unfortunately cast on the Brock Purdy the most because that's who they all talk about.
I don't hate him. He only has a massive contract, and he's overpaid.
I thought you were going to say he had a mess with something else.
Listen, Big Cock Rock can do whatever he wants to if he can get the Niners.
We save the implied things to be explicit after the stream.
I do it on stream. Sorry, that's happening. It happens. It happens live, baby. What are you gonna do about it? No, listen. The Niners are gonna
after the stream.
The Niners are probably not gonna win the division. This is probably or we're already looking to the next year type shit. I mean. Or unless, you know, Brock Purdy does turn. I mean, or I have more faith in the other teams
that said,
to win the division.
Really should kill whoever's in charge of the 49ers medical staff. Because they are clearly malpractice.
Yeah, they get injured. Their key players get injured, and you kind of need those key players to, you know, win football games.
Disproportionate rate to the rest of the league, it feels like.
Yeah. I think that's just because the Niners are in the national image so much.
Like, the only team that's got it as bad as them is the Ravens, though.
Ravens, and I think maybe... I want to say maybe Tampa. Because Tampa's another team that gets injured a fuck ton, too. But yeah, let's get to floors and ceilings. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. My floor for the Niners, everything goes wrong, injuries happen. I'll go with like 5. I can see it being like a similar season to last season where everything goes wrong for the 49ers. So, ceiling, I guess in terms of ceiling, if everything goes right for the 49ers, I can see 12 wins. I think of the NFC West teams, I feel like the Niners have the lowest floor because of all their injury concerns, but I also think their ceiling is similar to the rest of the NFC West, and I guess we'll debate that as the stream goes on because,
Yeah. I will go. Go ahead, Freeman.
Or, like a 4-win floor with injuries, like depending on what happened. Ceiling, a very fluky, like 10-7 ceiling, not making it past the division. My overall expectation of the team, though, because first of all, for the past 2 seasons after like their Super Bowl loss, it's too obvious that they're a team that's not going to make it back to the Super Bowl for like quite a while. They're going to be like K-May said, like the 9-8 team. It's the 9-8 team's 9-8 team, and we're kind of expecting like a 3-headed monster for the NFC West and the Niners, Rams, and Seattle, and I think they're gonna play more so the role of like the Rams back in 2019, where they're probably the favorite if Seattle pans out. They're probably the favorite to like be the worst team of the 3, but they'll still be a huge thorn to like actual division competitive ship. Where they'll split with like a lot of the people, the teams in the division.
by the way,
I
that
think they're being
Rams
slept on,
team.
and that's
By the way, that Rams team went 9-7. Just to clarify.
yeah. And another reason why I said that. So I think they're being slept on in terms of that perspective, because they're in terms of like the rest of the NFL, they're not the worst team. They're kind of competitive or not competent. They're kind of competent in comparison. But
That's fair.
yeah.
I will go next. I think easily their floor is I think 5 wins. I think they just like everything goes wrong. This team could be worse than last year, 100%. Best case scenario, maybe 11. 12 if Kyler Murray gets 2 double XP weekends.
You have little faith. I really don't. I don't understand. Like you guys, I feel like you guys are a bit too down on the Niners. Honestly, I personally think.
Well, you heard him. There's 53 million reasons to hate this team.
I just don't. My projection, I'd say for my floor would be 6 wins ish, because barring anything wrong. But I do believe the ceiling, like Nick said, like be like 12 or so. I do have them winning the division, but but not by a whole lot, because we need to see like how everything else goes, because again this division's a toss up, but I feel like the Niners have the most experience and talent to do that.
That's fair.
Barring certain circumstances, I do see this team in the playoffs in some circumstances.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens.
My answer is honestly going to be the same for every single NFC West team. Floor of 6-11, ceiling of 11-6. I genuinely don't know what the fuck to make of this division. All I know is that I'm ready to be very upset by it, because I fucking hate this division.
Hey, at least you don't got to play the Niners this year. Fucking we do, and the Bears suck every time we play them.
Good, you'll suck more.
We won last time we played them.
Really? Oh, right, yeah,
Oh,
because that was in Chicago. I forgot.
Wait.
Oh, that was the Eberflus game. Oh, gross!
No, we played last year. We
I don't
played last.
remember. I
don't
right.
blame you for not remembering. I don't blame you.
I kind of wipe everything past that incident.
I don't blame you in the slightest.
I kind of block everything out
Wait.
since then. I kind of.
Wait, I have a joke, and I want to update my ceiling with it.
Go ahead.
They're gonna fluke their way into a Super Bowl win because the Super Bowl's like being held in Santa Clara, Levi Stadium. So they're gonna pull a 2020, 2021 Super Bowl and win in their own stadium. They're rig it to them.
Ren.
Floor 6 wins, ceiling whatever 11. They may wait. They could listen. Then I just think because the Niners have been on a down. Mainly their injuries. If they fucking MetLife Stadium rules, it's in the Bay Area. So as long as they don't poison the Bay Area waters, then I think they could win. They could win the division. They could. I just think that the rest of the division that isn't the Cardinals can steal the spotlight and win the division. I feel like this could go for the whole West. The whole West could be what the NFC North was last year. I don't know. I think the Seahawks and the Rams are kind of on the up and up, so they could.
Are they also going to lose in the first? Are they also going to lose in their first playoff game?
No, because only one team from this division makes it. The NFC West is a slightly better equivalent of the AFC South.
No, they're like
I wouldn't go that far.
I'd say they're more like they're like a worse version of the AFC West, where they're all kind of good, except they're all just kind of mid. Like it's like going from like the A+ student to like the B- student. Like there's not like anything bad about it. You just don't know what the hell they're doing. Also, Luke, you're
I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, but for the AFC West comparison, the Rams are the equivalent of the Chiefs. Just saying.
In terms of what?
They're usually they're going to be the number one.
The Rams. Anyways.
I'm gonna say this later. They're going to be the number one pick. Like they're going to be the favorite to win. Just in terms of that.
Yeah, fair.
I hate you, San Francisco. I hate you. Fuck
He wrote
you.
up the script.
Your floor is 0. Your ceiling 0. Get the fuck out of my sight. I'm kidding. Okay, for real. 6 floor, ceiling 11 with the division win. This division's a shit show. Anybody can win it. It's the way how this division works out is whoever stars the line the best is gonna go the furthest. I still think my comparison of the last person's bomb to blow up is the perfect comparison.
But one of the bombs was already exploded. In case you haven't noticed.
But yes.
Honestly, in terms of level, I would compare them to the AFC North. Three competent teams at their best. Browns are equals to the Cardinals. Anything goes. But
the Browns are a slightly better Cardinals, I guess. I mean, the Cardinals are like better Browns, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to add that. You can move. We can move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
Well, guys, we talked about them earlier. Now it's time to talk about the Cardinals, not the St. Louis one. Never the St. Louis one. For their notable additions this year, they re-signed center Evan Brown. They re-signed to an extension Trey McBride to a $19 million deal. Offensive tackle Kelvin Beachum, cornerback Sean Murphy Bunting. He loves bunts. After that, we have edge rusher Josh Sweat from the Eagles. They got Calais Campbell back for probably his farewell season. Edge rusher L.J. Collins. Linebacker Akeem Davis Gaither from the Bengals. They re-signed wide receiver Greg Dortch. They re-signed edge rusher Baron Browning. Re-signed long snapper Aaron Brewer. Re-signed guard Will Hernandez. And from his hit days on the Raiders and Jaguars, they re-signed wide receiver Zay Jones. Also, too, not that it really much matters, but I do find it really funny that former Bear legend Chris Tonga went to the Patriots for departures. Well, fuck, I might as well get to the departures now. Kazir White's homeless currently. He's a linebacker. Defensive line Roy Lopez went to the Lions. Tyson Colin goes to the Lions as well. Edge rusher Julian Okwara goes to the Browns. And defensive line Naquan Jones goes to the Chargers. And then Tyrus Tonga goes to the Chiefs. And that's kind of pretty much it. Oh, yeah, and they don't have Matt Prater anymore. Now, Arizona's draft goes as followed. In the first round, the Arizona Cardinals select defensive tackle Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. In the second round, with a sneaky good pickup, they pick up cornerback Will Johnson in the second round. In the third round, they draft outside linebacker Jordan Birch. I believe he's an edge rusher. In the fourth round, from Ohio State, they draft linebacker Cody Simon. In the fifth round, they draft cornerback Denzel Burke from Ohio State. In the sixth round, they draft Hayden Connor from Texas. And then for their last pick, from the University of Nevada, Katan Crawford. So, double XP jokes out of the way now, guys. Say it.
You said it already. Like
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean,
Yeah, you said it.
Unfortunately,
the joke that just keeps on giving is how
You guys
many
are-
times I hear that people are telling me that this is Arizona's year. I hear it every single year. The Cardinals are right where they always are. And that
have
is
you guys?
What?
Thank you, MJF.
Thanks.
Jesus.
May I propose something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You see, you don't really have to worry about the start of Double EXP weekend. You have to worry about the AJ Green controller disconnect that occurs at the end of Double EXP weekend.
Oh,
As this
gotcha.
team has still
Real.
not shaken off the ghost of Cliff Kingsbury in the back half of the season.
Real.
I agree. The issue with them is just they haven't done anything to improve. They're all like the defensive line's better. That's great, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is an awesome wide receiver. What else do you want? Where's your line? Where's your linebackers?
I mean, to be fair, their line is pretty good. They actually do have a good line.
Actually,
It's just.
Could we make a suggestion that the Dalton Line NFL team equivalent is the Arizona Cardinals?
Like just as an NFL team in general, just like as a
Yes.
I would not say that it starts with Arizona because first off they don't well, I guess Dalton doesn't have a Super Bowl either. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, if we're talking just purely their tenure in Arizona, I guess I can see it working, but if we're going beyond their tenure in Arizona, it's a little more debatable.
I mean, is there any more? Is there any more of a forgettable bad team than Arizona right now? Like,
It's not even that
we
Arizona's
talk about
bad.
how bad the Jets are. We talk about how bad the Browns are. We talk about how bad the Lions have been. But what have the Cardinals done?
It's just
that
I mean,
the
past
Titans are more
years.
forgettable. They have the first overall pick this year, and have you heard shit about them? No.
I guess the Titans, I guess.
Yeah, well, like,
But no, the
and the thing
Titans
is
have
that,
at
like,
least made like
thing is that
back-to-back
the Cardinals-
AFC Conference
thing is that-
championships.
The Cardinals aren't bad. It's
Yes,
just
they
that
are.
No, they're not.
No, right
They're
now
just
they're
mid.
mid.
Yeah, they're mid
mid
right
right
now,
now.
but I'm saying for it in
I
their
would put
history
it as
spanning, they've been a bad football
You're saying
team.
it like you're saying like the Cardinals
I
actually
would-
didn't have like conference championships back then too. Like you,
I'm saying, Magnet, in the last 10
Hold on.
years, what have the Cardinals have been? They've been bad.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. We're looking. You know what?
I
You know
will
what?
put
We're
it
looking at the
Hey.
as
Cardinals
they're
There was
season.
still like a year of
usually
Carson
bad.
Palmer there. There was still like a
Okay, hold on. Okay, last 10 Arizona Cardinals seasons, because this is going back to 2015. Yes, those are the last 10 seasons. Carson Palmer NFC
Yeah.
Championship season, 13-3. 2016 they go 7-8-1. 2017 they go 8-8. 2018 they go 3-13. That was the Steve Wilkes, Josh Rosen.
Josh
and
Rosen.
they got Josh Rosen. They got
Yep.
And then they got Kyler Murray.
2019, Kyler Murray's rookie year, 5-10-1. 2020, 8-8. 2021, you go 11-6, and you get embarrassed in the playoff game in front of The Rock. 2022, you go 4-13. 2023, you go 4-13, and 2024, last season, they went 8-9.
Point
Josh
exact.
Rosen has to be like one of the most, like probably the most forgettable bust of the last 10 years, right?
Yeah, he just did nothing. But what were you gonna say, Freeman? I know you wanted to say something.
And I'm just speaking of the season. They're usually going to be bad, but on some games they're going to hone like whatever roster talent that they have and pull off like one or two upsets. And I'm still and there's a distinct possibility that they're going to pull some what's their old head coach's name again? Fucking some Bruce Arians fucking devil magic and back at the clink. And I will flinch at our home game against them. Like, is it gonna happen again? Like, are they gonna somehow pull off some bullshit victory? But other than that, I didn't do research on this team. Like, honestly, out of the four, I didn't do research on this team because they're not gonna make the playoffs.
I think they are the most forgettable team. I'll give you that, Luke. But I don't think into Freeman's point, like there's nothing to know about this team because it's like they don't have the stuff that makes the other teams better. Like I look at the Buccaneers and I go like they got the franchise quarterback. They got the franchise wide receiver. I look at a team like the Cowboys, oddly enough, and I go, they got the franchise quarterback. They got the franchise wide receiver. I look at someone like the Lions even currently, and like they have the franchise guy and they have the franchise wide receiver. I look at Arizona and I'm like, well, they might have the franchise quarterback and they might have the franchise wide receiver, but like after that, I mean, they're just okay. They're like the McDouble of the NFL. Not bad, but like I would rather just have a Bacon King. Like if I had the money.
I mean, my thing with the thing that just pisses me off about the Cardinals is I keep being reminded about all this potential that Kyler Murray has, right? And I feel that I don't see it, right? It's I see the ceiling for Kyler Murray is about an A- level, right? But he only does that for like one or two games where he does some of the most incredible things. But I feel like he's honestly peaked as a quarterback.
You'll have to forgive him. He can't reach the top shelf. Also, the Mets have officially lost 11-9.
Thank fucking.
This is the worst thing. This is the worst 9/11 thing related to New York of all time.
On that topic, sorry, just to quickly say this, there was a perfect game watch going on between the Orioles and the Astros, but it just got broken up in the 8th inning.
Oh my god, I fucking hate the Astros.
Oh, thank God the Astros are getting shanked. Oh, thank God.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to call a pitch there. You heard that?
I see. I see.
Like my issue with the Cardinals, honestly, like I don't think this is a bad team because there is stuff to like here in terms of like some of the stuff they've done with the roster. Like I really like adding Josh Sweat to the Jonathan Gannon defense, and to be honest, I think Gannon's done a fine job as head coach. My problem with the Cardinals does not consist of Jonathan Gannon, and I will say this: if Will Johnson and play like he did in Michigan, and he doesn't have those injury concerns that caused him to slide in the NFL draft, the Cardinals are really looking at a strong secondary, like a very strong secondary. But that's a wait and see. My problem with Arizona is Kyler Murray. It's Kyler Murray and the Cardinals' play calling, because it really feels like the biggest thing holding Arizona back right now is Kyler. It really feels like Kyler is the biggest question with the Arizona Cardinals right now. Because, I mean, the past couple of years, and granted, 2022 was Cliff Kingsbury's crash out season, and 2023 he was coming back from the injury and there was basically no one there. But last year, Kyler was very, very mid last season, and there were times where it really felt like Kyler costed the Cardinals games that they should have won. And something that I really think of is the game against the Rams late in the season where they drove down to the goal line and
1 yard line
proceeds to
even.
headshot. Yeah, Kyler proceeds to headshot his wide receiver that leads in an interception. So, like, yeah.
It's been the same thing. It's been the same thing that I hope more and more people just do, and that is Kyler Murray is extremely overrated for the value that he would team, and I think this is his last year in Arizona before they trade him.
No. I want to say that they'll trade him, but the fact is, who really, like we talked about this before, who really wants Kyler right now? I could see the Giants potentially opening up, but you think Kyler's going to want to go there? If he's going to be traded, he's going to have some say in where he goes. And to think he's going to go from a team like the Cardinals to the Giants, a team with an infinitely shittier situation than them, he won't want to go there. He'll just say, I won't play. And then what do you do at that point? You now have a disgruntled quarterback who you told that you wanted to trade. Honestly, I think what probably happens is that Kyler's probably going to be there for a year or two until his contract expires, and then he's going to hit free agency. I pretty much think that's going to be it, because I don't think they'll cut him with that amount of dead cap, and I don't think until Rich Gannon, it is Rich Gannon. I don't think until Rich Gannon gets fired that will happen, because Jonathan Gannon. Fuck. I don't think until Jonathan Gannon until he gets fired eventually, he's not going to be. He's probably not going to get rid of Kyler anytime soon, because unlike Brock Purdy, where there is a system of somewhat success in terms of drafting, there is not really a ton of success drafting for Arizona. Like, I remember their last couple of quarterbacks they drafted: John Skelton, Josh Rosen, and Kyler Murray. Those were the last couple of quarterbacks I remember them drafting. And the fact that those three, the best one is Kyler Murray, which is decent, is semi-concerning. Also, I guess Clayton Tune, but he was never going to be the starter anyway. It's just... it's rough. It is severely rough to really say.
It really depends on what the quarterback outlook is going to be looking in the offseason next year, because, where Kyler would go, what teams would have interest in him, really depends on what the quarterback situation of a lot of teams look like, and also how the outlook of the 2026 NFL draft looks like, because that's going to have a major say in what many teams, including the Cardinals, could do. That's going to have a major say because it is a loaded quarterback draft class, and teams are going to be very interested in the prospects that come out of that class. And if the room's not there for Kyler for another team to pick him up or trade for him, then it's going to be a rough situation. But I feel like regardless of what happens with that, Kyler seriously needs to prove himself, or else Arizona is going to be thinking about a future without Kyler, regardless if they keep him or not. Like, they're going to be thinking about it. If Kyler is mediocre again this season. And on the topic of the Cardinals offense, I do want to highlight something that is important because they did lose their offensive line coach this offseason to the Cowboys. And from all I heard, he was very well liked within the Cardinals organization and by the Cardinals fan base. So that's going to be something I will be watching whenever the Cardinals are on, because honestly, that is going to be interesting to see how the Cardinals offense is this year, because I'm not really worried about their defense as much as I am their offense, because once again, it feels like this team all comes down to how Kyler Murray does.
If you want to, if the folks in the sickos and the audience are interested in coach-related leaving crash outs, you guys are in for a treat next Friday.
Why?
Because we're talking about the Packers, aren't we?
Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot. But fucking, I wish there was just more to say about this team. But like last year, they went 9-8, and I just didn't care. Honestly, I think they would have been better if they were bad again. And I don't.
8-9.
I mean, 8-9. They were 8-9 last year, and I just did not care. It's one of the times where I'm like, I kind of wish that if you're in that position, you kind of wish you were bad, because now you set that precedent of like, hey, we were 8-9 last year. We were kind of in the race for it, and they were leading the division at points last year. That's what I forget all the time. The Cardinals were in first place at multiple points last season. But then it all just kind of fucking vanished.
They were in first place, and then they got swept by the Seahawks. The span of 3 weeks.
Says more about the division than anything. Says more.
It says a lot about our society.
Like, I'm looking at their thing right now. They almost beat the Bills. They almost beat the Lions. They fucking put belt to ass on the Rams. They beat the Niners, which they were still not dead yet. They beat the Chargers. They walloped the Bears and They walloped the Bears and Jets. They almost beat the Vikings. And then from there on, you lose in overtime to the Panthers, and you lose in a heartbreak against the Rams. Like, they were the most, like, confusing team, because I didn't know if they wanted to be good or if they wanted to be bad. Because they have no identity. It doesn't feel like this team is built to win. This feels like this team is built for everyone to have their jobs at the end of the season. They're not playing to win Super Bowls. They're playing to have a job.
Ooh, that's a scary word. You can't say that. That's a scary word. The Cardinals. Ooh, listen, the Cardinals have a different type of double magic than the Chiefs have. They just feel like the team that's like, I'm gonna win against you for no reason. You should beat me like handily, but I'm gonna win. Because then what was the one upset? It was Dallas one year. What was the one last year where they're like, what the fuck? The Cardinals won this game. I feel it was one game. I think it was Philly. Philly. They beat Philly. Like the Cardinals are gonna win because they just have that.
That was the same year they beat Philly and Dallas.
They are the master. Listen, they are literally the masturbators. They will bait you into thinking you were gonna beat them, and then they just win somehow. And that's how they go over 500, because they're just like, I'm gonna win this game for no reason. I'm just gonna win because it'll be funny.
I don't get why they just don't do that more often, though. Why don't you just win more often?
That's football. That's football for you.
Listen. You can only do so much trolling. All right. Once your trolling meter caps out, you gotta actually win football games, and they can't do that. So they only use the trolling meter. That's how they beat Philly and Dallas those 1 years. It's not much to say Cardinals. It's like, yeah, you guys are kind of in hell, but like, you may be able, if you like locked in for maybe like 3 or 4 games, you could probably be first round exits.
Again,
I mean, I can see a scenario where Arizona makes the playoffs, but it all comes down to Kyler. It really comes down to Kyler.
I don't know, man. Like it get like they just don't have like out of like the teams that like they are facing against, they probably have like the least amount of like weapons as of like or like just like game changing players in their
It's just I get that, but I feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. is gonna have a better second year. I don't know if he'll still live up to the hype or not, but I think he'll have a better season. And you still have Trey McBride. Like, there's weapons for Kyler to work with, and his O-line is good enough for him to work with. It's just Kyler's the biggest question, in my opinion, for how good this Cardinals team is going to be. Because if it's like last season, they're just going to be mid again.
It's just they're endlessly confusing. Because like, you want to know something? They're playing some of the worst teams this year. They could easily. You want to know what's the funniest thing? I could see them losing, getting swept by the AFC South, but they go 6-0 in their division, and they find some way to miss the playoffs.
Sounds about right.
The devil magic meme.
Like, it just. This team is just endlessly confusing. I don't know what to make of them, because this team could win the division. But the fact that if they win this division, then I want to say something really fucked up happened. But with how, like, insane these other teams are, I can't even say that, because I don't know. It's like throwing darts at a map. You're trying to find the place where this team goes, but they just don't quite fit.
Maybe they should go back. Maybe they should go back to going in St. Louis. Maybe that'll help.
They should go back to Phoenix.
Yeah,
Or they go back to Chicago.
Flagstaff, buddy.
I don't know, but like, so that's the thing that just ever so. But it like this team on the Royals, and they haven't done anything. I think what we have here is that the Arizona Cardinals front office is every surrounded him with dudes. It's just he's really struggled to put this all together, and maybe there's a reason why there's a reason why that they put that clause in there, and the fact that Kyler's like, hey, leak this to the public. And then it's like, oh my god. And everyone's like, oh my god, this all makes so much sense. Could not be a worse move that I've ever seen. I truly wonder if after said and done, what would convince the Cardinals to keep Kyler for more longer than what they
you saw 53 million reasons why for Brock Purdy. Stability.
It depends.
Stability.
It really depends on what is there.
He just turned 28 too, so it's not like he's getting old or anything, because quarterbacks can definitely play into their mid-30s, but
Russell not really mobile quarterback. So what happened with Russell? Off on that.
Right. I mean, to be honest, I feel like, honestly, in terms of the NFL, and I know this is kind of crazy to say comparing the two, but I feel like Birdie's shown more in the NFL than Kyler has.
Yeah, agreed.
That's a tough pill for me to swallow,
and an NFC
honestly.
Conference Championship. That is way more than what Kyler has done.
Yeah.
I guess individual stats aside, that's correct. And I will give you that. But, I don't know, man. Kyler still has that ability where he can just do stuff better than Purdy can.
He has that ability, but he needs to start showing it and stop playing mid.
That's
so
fair. That is so fair. It's a rough thing to think for me. Fuck. Ugh.
I know it makes people sick to the stomach, but that's just the thing with Kyler. I'm running out of patience for him. Because I feel like he could play like an elite quarterback in the NFL, but time's running out. We're gonna be moving on to new things, and soon before you know it, Arizona's gonna take yet another quarterback that probably won't help them out.
It's just the ceiling of a quarterback only matters so much if they hardly ever show it.
Well, I guess we should go to floors and ceilings. And honestly, how can you predict floors and ceilings with this team? I mean,
6 and
I get-
11, no floor. 11 and 6 ceiling. Send tweet.
I guess
Sure, just you know what? Floors and ceilings for the Arizona Cardinals. Over under. I don't fucking know. Fucking does Kyler Murray? I don't fucking know, dude. This, you know what? Floors and ceilings for
I'll
this team
save this.
is a
I'll
random
save-
number generator. That's a random number generator. So you
Yeah,
know what?
2
Let's
and
do that,
that
chat.
sounds about
Let's
right.
do that right now. Let's do it right now. We're going to ram. You can't see it, chat.
What
but
if
we're
what if the
going
ceiling is
to-
higher than the floor?
Don't worry. We'll do.
and-
Okay.
Here,
What if
I trust Ren. I trust Ren.
All right. Here, this is the floor. All right, this is the floor. We're doing 0 to 17. All right, I'm gonna randomize it 3 times because that's normally what I do. 1, 2, 2, 3. All right, the floor is 9. This is the ceiling. This is the ceiling. 1, 2, 3. The ceiling is 4. So.
All right,
Dude, I clicked it 3 times. It went 17, 16, 4. So that's the Arizona Cardinals. That's your floor and ceiling for the Arizona Cardinals. The
There
floor
we
is
go.
9. The
Your
ceiling is.
Arizona Cardinals.
There you go. That's all needs to be said.
You know what? As a great man once said, why copy someone? And that's what I'm not gonna do. Floor, dog. This team could legitimately win two games this year because of how fucking confusing this team is.
I wouldn't go that far. We've seen them pull at minimum 4 wins out of their ass.
Again, Jonathan
again-
Gannon isn't an amazing coach. He's kind of just okay. We've
Like,
seen.
Yeah, and they
we've
still got
seen-
4 wins out of their ass. I'm just saying.
Like I said, the Cardinals have that, or the masturbators. So they're gonna masturbate a couple of games.
I'm gonna
win.
regret saying this. I'm gonna say 12. Fuck. God
Whoa.
damn it.
That's a very big
That's
jump.
very generous.
That's- Look, let me explain why. The idea of Kyler and everything around this team. We laugh about the Chargers and Justin Herbert being a what if man. This is a what if team. What if Marvin Harrison plays top 1? What if Kyler Murray reaches his potential? What if that defensive line shit wrecks everything? If all that what if happens, I don't think there's a team that could reasonably go up against them within that division, and they could easily just mull it over and sweep it. Not to mention playing against teams like the fucking Colts, the Titans, the Jags, the Texans. No. This team is going to be confusing, and if I don't say 12, because I was going to originally say 10, they're going to find some way to be better than me, so I'm going to say fuck them, I'm going with 12.
Anyways, this team screams a floor of 6 and a ceiling of 11. That is what this team screams to me, because it's like, I think their floor is higher than the Niners because they don't have the injury issues that the 49ers often have, but I also think their ceiling is the lowest of any team in the NFC West, and it's just, they scream 6 and 11. They really, their floor and ceiling just screams that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. 6, 4, 6, 11. Can do things line up for this team, which is for this entire division. If so, we'll be seeing, if things go well, we'll be seeing play football in January in playoff town. If not,
January.
try this again next year. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Magnum?
Yeah, I gave mine.
Uh,
I gave.
The floor. Sorry, man. I'm trying to think. The floor might be like 4 or so. Ceiling, probably like 10 wins ish. I guess. I don't know. They again, nothing about this team wows me like in the slightest. Nothing about this team.
Freeman?
Well, floor is 4 wins. Ceiling, I'm gonna give it 9 because that's how it usually goes. What was I gonna say? They, like I said, they in some games they will hone roster talent, but they just haven't proved it. I'm not giving them anything like a 10 or above because I think they're cursed on that part. I don't think they're gonna like make a deep any semblance of playoff run at some point, and at least as of recent seasons, they're not that interesting of a team. They're some way somehow they're just gonna fall into that range to varying circumstances. That's it.
That's fair. Well then, everyone got their floors and ceilings?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, up next, we have the Los Angeles Rams. And for their notable additions this year, they bring back... What?
You said there are 4 teams with bombs strapped to their chests. I would suggest that there are 3 teams with bombs strapped to their chest and 1 with a bomb that's in the middle.
I see.
This team is the Rams.
I see. Offensive guard, they bring in back Coleman Shelton. Man, was he something in Chicago? We'll skip over this quarterback. Offensive tackle, Eric Jackson, signs an extension. They signed running back Kyron Williams to an extension. They bring in Devontae Adams. They bring in wide receiver, by the way. They bring in former Seahawk and one of the greatest names in football right now, defensive line, Poona Ford. They bring in former Falcon linebacker, Nate Landman. They re-signed cornerback Akilo Witherspoon. They gave Tutu Atwell $10 million. I want you guys to stew on that real quick. Tutu fucking Atwell has $10 million.
I mean, yeah. Wide receiver.
Up next, we have linebacker Troy Reeder. And then we have pretty much nothing else of note. Oh, they did sign DJ Humphries. And they did re-sign quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Now for notable leaves, they lose wide receiver DeMarcus Robinson to the Niners. They lose linebacker Christian Rosebroom to the Panthers. They lose wide receiver Cooper Kupp to the Seahawks. They lose edge Michael Hoecht to the Bills. They lose defensive lineman Bobby Brown III to the Panthers. They lose wide receiver Tyler Johnson to the Jets. They lose tight end Hunter Long to the Jaguars, and they lose offensive guard Jonah Jackson to the Bears via a trade. As for their draft picks, in the second round, they draft tight end Terrence Ferguson from Oregon. In the third round, they draft outside linebacker Josiah Stewart from Michigan. In the fourth round, they select running back Jarquez Hunter from Auburn. In the grab bag zone, we have defensive lineman Ty Hamilton from Ohio State. From Old Miss, we get middle linebacker a CP, also known as Chris Paul Jr. So we have CPJ in a LA. And then lastly, wide receiver from the Michigan Panthers, Konata Mumfield from Pitt. Now, we have to talk about the biggest back in the room, that of being the back of Matthew Stafford. If he doesn't play, this team's fucked. First things first, if he doesn't play, this team's fucking screwed.
Anyways, your NFC West champions, the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's it. Yeah,
No.
I think
Actually, I agree. I thought
By the
for some reason I thought you said
No, not by
NFC
default.
Championship. NFC West.
Oh
I
no,
can
no,
see.
not NFC Championship. They went. I think they're my pick for the team to win the West. I think Matthew Stafford still listen. The tank may be running out, but it's still
Dude,
got
like,
stuff in the
we don't
tank.
even know if he's
Sorry,
ready to play
miscommunication
yet.
error.
We don't even.
Yeah,
Listen,
but
I don't know.
what
Listen, I don't know what's happening with Memphis. I'm not gonna lie, but he's a Georgia boy, so he gonna be dialed in come season come.
Dude, he might be
listen.
playing in an iron lung out there soon. That's how fucked up it is right now.
Well, you know what? Well, who needs a quarterback when you can just let the Jugs machine, toss it to Cooper Cup?
For
The
the
Jugs-
uneducated, aka me, what
Well, Cooper
happened
Kupp
to
is
Matthew
in-
Stafford?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to
Yeah.
Matthew. What's up with Stafford?
So guys, I have a story. Let's all gather around the campfire.
I wish you
So
would just say it.
here's
our
the mysterious
campfire
story
song?
of Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, you know, he was born in the 80s. That was a very scary time for him. He grew up and eventually he got drafted by the Detroit Lions. You see, there was a thing that no one had told him when being on the Lions. Carrying all that weight of the team on his back does not do too well. So, eventually, he gets traded to LA, and then eventually, once he gets to LA, he starts winning, and he starts winning championships. But then, the age starts to catch up, and all the carrying that he did on his back, oh boy, did that catch up to him. TLDR, his back is fucked. And it's so
Cringe.
we need to stop giving this man a soundboard.
I
but
need
yeah,
you to just get to the fucking point.
I did, buddy. His
so
back's just
back,
fucked.
that's-
You-
His back's
but
just
you,
fucked.
But you made it into a fucking
You-
story. I can't tell if you're talking his back actually hurts or he's just like
Yes,
like
his
He also
back
said something about his
hurts.
lungs.
His back is in pain. He is
From-
hurting.
Yes.
okay. Thank you, Nickman.
You also said
Fucking-
something about
taking
his
the point.
lungs, or is that just an
No, that was just me saying something.
Yeah, too much trolling. Either way, fucking listen. If Unk gets ready by season come, the Niners, the fucking Rams, handle business and at least make it to the playoffs. If
He
they
did
don't,
practice. He did work out on Saturday, but
then I mean, who's their backup quarterback? Who's
Jimmy
G.
Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, they're making the playoffs. Listen, Jimmy Garoppolo may not be. Listen, Jimmy Garoppolo is not. Listen, Jimmy Garoppolo is piss poor on the Vikings, or not the Vikings, the Raiders.
Oh,
But like Cooper Cup didn't. Not Cooper Cup didn't go. No, never mind.
You two
I forgot
Axwell or
Cooper
Cooper
Kupp
Kupp is on the
Raiders.
Seahawks now, by the way.
Okay, who's wide receiver one for
You
them?
two Axwell or Puka
Devontae
Nacua?
Adams and Puka
Oh
Nacua.
yeah, no. Devontae,
Puka.
listen,
Puka
Devontae
Nacua.
still has some. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is past his prime, but like, Jimmy Garoppolo's not gonna be fucking piss poor. Like, I feel like
My
still has a little
question
bit
to
in the tank.
you is this though: on a full season, though, they're gonna make the playoffs. Do you see that?
I mean, listen, with how I almost said a bad thing. With how Yard's saying how shit the NFC West is, I think being mid is gonna get you to the playoffs. If that's
no,
what you're.
I don't think the NFC West is shit. I think the NFC West is mid.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said that. I said y'all.
You said shit.
I said mid.
No,
I
you
said
said
mid.
shit. I think
said
everyone
shit.
is mid.
Said
So
shit.
being mid does not differentiate
Okay,
them. I think
okay,
they're
well-
the team with the lowest floor right now.
Okay, well, let me rephrase the statement then, because I thought I said mid. Since you can say the West is mid, I think being mid is gonna at least get you, to the playoffs. Listen, I don't think Garoppolo's gonna. I don't think Garoppolo's gonna
It
like
has a
shit
chance
the
of
bed.
hitting the division.
I don't think it's gonna shit the bed, but like I said, listen, my case is either the Rams or the Seahawks to do it, and I think the Rams. I forgot they didn't have Cup, so that's my fault. Original gangster. I thought they still had Cooper Cup, but like I don't know. Devontae still got
home,
stuff in the
baby.
tank.
Nick,
Devontae still stuff.
being the resident Vegas guy, you can accurately tell how the fuck the Jimmy Garoppolo experiment went in Vegas, correct?
Yeah, it was horrible. The fact of the matter is, with Jimmy G that year, he was, his level of play was most comparable to Brian Hoyer, who, I might add, lost the game that season to Tyson Bagent. So, there was a reason that Aiden O'Connell basically got so much of a... The reason Aiden O'Connell honestly got a second season to start for the Raiders was because of Jimmy G and how that tenure went in Vegas. Now, I will say this.
I'm saying, do you
There
think it
is
was
a
just
big
Vegas?
I
If it
will
was
say
just
this.
Vegas, was that not just a him problem and a Vegas problem?
I don't know. Honestly, you know what? Maybe the lights were too bright for him. I don't know. I mean,
The lights
thing
being
with-
bright in Vegas, my brother in Christ, they didn't pay the electric bill. They
Listen,
were too focused
listen,
on
man.
building the stadium.
Listen, the thing with Jimmy G is that you're not gonna, I don't think you're really going to get 49ers Jimmy G out of him anymore. But at the same time, I will say this, if the worst case scenario happens and Matthew Stafford's back problems get to the point where he basically just can't play anymore, and you basically just have to brought Jimmy G out there, God forbid Stetson Bennett. Like, I will say this for Jimmy G, playing for Sean McVay is a way better situation than playing for Josh McDaniels as a head coach. I will say
Yeah.
that.
But it's like, I think he can be serviceable. I think he can be serviceable to at least set the ship a little bit. Like,
I think Jimmy G with Sean McVay won't be the worst quarterback. Like, he can at least get something here and there, but at the same time, it's not something the Rams would want to have to go through. Like,
you would
want
not have to want that, but
you want Stafford out there because, simply put, if Stafford goes down, the Rams' hopes of even thinking of a Super Bowl go up in smoke.
I don't think it's that bad, but I don't know. I don't know ball, so I don't think it's that bad. I think this will be fine. Like I said,
It's
I
just
think
my thing. Here's the thing, and this is why also I'm gonna say this because I can at least kind of agree with Ren on the fact that I don't think the Rams would be the worst team if they lose Stafford and you have to rely on Jimmy G because the Rams have there's a lot of good positions on this Rams team. Like they have a strong receiving core. I honestly think they have the best receiving core in the NFC West. Just my opinion here. Their O-line got a lot better. Their O-line got a lot better at the end of the season compared to where it was at the start of last year. Because I remember a lot of those early games where Matthew Stafford was just getting killed in the backfield, but they were way better to end the season. And honestly, talking about their defense, their front seven is already really being built back up to be a great front seven again, especially with how guys like Verse are looking. And granted, their secondary is definitely kind of a mixed bag, but I'm just saying the Rams have plenty of guys on the roster that can make sure this isn't the worst team if Stafford goes down. And they also have Sean McVay, and we know what Sean McVay's capable of.
They went 10-7 last year. I think they also made it to the divisional thing and beat the Vikings. The Vikings were a good team last year, so
The Vikings were a good team last year. The Vikings that the Rams played were not.
True.
Yeah. Look, I'm just saying the only reason why I don't trust Jimmy G is we look at the Rams divisional play last year. You got swept by the Seahawks, which as many as people will be saying, oh, it's the last game. Oh, they didn't get swept, my bad. But they were not that great in division play. They kept it close with basically all their opponents throughout the entirety of it. They got bitched on by the Cardinals, and in one of those games, they barely won because Kyler Murray's an idiot, and most of that was because they had the better quarterback that day. And I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the guy that can. I think he can steer the ship, but he's not going to be the guy to win games. He will be.
Yeah, I'm not saying they. I'm not saying that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be Tom Brady. I just said I think if the division turns out to be not like the North of last year and it's like competitive, I think Garoppolo can, like you said, steady the ship and at least do a little bit. That if Stafford goes down for like a couple of weeks and isn't like out for the season, that he can be like, all right, I'm gonna get you. Like, I'm gonna play 500 ball at your moment, and you come in and clean it up.
Okay, I thought you were meaning for the entire season. My bad. I thought you mean for the entire season. I was more meaning for the entire season in general because there is a legitimate chance that Stafford may not play for like 75, maybe the whole season if this back issue is a legit thing. And if Jimmy Garoppolo is playing more than 4 games, alarms need to be sounded. And especially since the Rams don't have a very easy start, if I remember correctly. They have the Texans, the Titans, the Eagles, and the Colts. The
Dude,
Texans...
dude, that's 500 ball right there.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo can lead against the Texans and the Colts, but Jimmy Garoppolo against, not the Texans and the Colts, the Titans and the Colts, but the Texans and the Eagles, then you get to division play against the Niners, and then you get the Ravens and stuff like that. Their first 6 games are kind of tough outside of the Colts and Titans. Because division play will never be easy no matter how shit the team is.
Hey,
because it's any given Sunday.
The Rams started. I just looked at their schedule, or last year they started off 1-4, and then only lost 4 more games after that stretch. I think the team found a way to lock the fuck in after their bye and at least make it to.
And there's a reason I said that the Rams at the end of the season were a way better team than they were to start. They were last season. They were a better team. They were a better team than that record
that they
showed.
can get down and gritty and try and grind out some games. Winning a shootout against the Bills, type shit. And that's with Stafford. But if Stafford's now out for the season and Jimmy plays 500 ball, at least somewhat competent football to be I'm 3-2. I think Stafford can come in and at least elevate the position a little bit more to get them over the edge. If the race of the West is so tight, I think if Stafford needs just the beginning of the season out, I think Jimmy in Sean McVay, system, because listen, I think the Rams have a better situation than the Raiders. So if Jimmy Garoppolo can elevate his game a little bit better than what was in Vegas, they can get to a level where they're all right, we are actively in the race for the head of the division. Hell, maybe the head of the division. When Stafford comes back, listen, Stafford's still got a little bit more in the tank. He's still got a good core of Devontae Adams. I don't know what their running back is, but I think he did pretty well.
Aaron Williams.
Yeah, we can do a little bit to at least push us over the edge. Now, I'm not saying they're about to make a deep playoff run. But they could. They didn't go deep last year, but they, played a football game. So, I think the Rams were able to. Hey, and the Eagles wanted to win and fucking booty clap the Chiefs. So, you know what? I think the Rams can find a way to scrap somehow. Not saying we make it into the championship game, but they can win I think they can win the division if they, like they did last year, scrap and claw and find a way to rally late. If that is the case, if Stafford is out for the beginning of the season.
I will say this though about the Rams. They have been a very weird regular season team. And I say that because I can't forget that they lost to the Matt Eberflus, Shane Waldron Bears last season. When Shane Waldron was still with the Bears, they lost to that team. So the Rams can be a very weird regular season team. But at the same time, it's it really just comes down to what the hell happens to Stafford.
Yeah, it's just, here's the thing. If there's some issues wrong with Stafford, I don't think he's going to be gone for the first 4 games. I think he's going to be gone for most of the season. Now, granted, if it is just the first 4 games, they have time to rebound. But half the season, Jimmy Garoppolo ball, you're looking maybe, if you're lucky, 3-5, 3-6 when he gets back. And that's not a position you want to be in.
They're in the one division where they're in one of 2 divisions that can get away with it, to be fair.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If this division is so mid, hell, they can do it. Mid, if they're mid plus instead of being just straight mid.
If they're 3-6, they have to play perfect to get the division. Because this winner is having 9 wins, probably tops.
Yeah, that's kind of where I came from, because it's this might just be the last year for Stafford in general.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Oh yeah,
I think it can. I think it can be. It really might be.
Unk is leaving after the season, so.
Yeah.
This is last year in the NFL. I just don't
This is
believe
the last year of the NFL. Like the NFL will die out next year.
This is his last year. Yeah, I said this is his last year.
Yeah, I
in the
know. I'm just
NFL, mind
trolling.
you.
Matt's
It's
Okay.
trolling.
just like with. It's just actually. Go ahead, Luke.
Okay, so I want to get my thing. The Rams. So something with Bo, I want to make kind of about the Rams. I've been like over the past week. I've been thinking a lot about them. It's weird to say this, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. There's no pressure for the Rams this year, as weird as it sounds. Their future is in this quarterback draft class. Whether or not they make the playoffs, their future quarterback is in this draft class, and that's a thought that haunts me. That's going to be
It's
haunting
Shadur
me this
Sanders.
entire season.
Shadur's going to LA, chat.
Oh no, it's next. I said next year's. This upcoming draft class, right? The thing is, the Rams don't have to trade for the first overall pick. They have enough ammunition to probably getting away with trading into the top 5 and getting a franchise guy. And with how good Sean McVay is at coaching, that is a terrifying thought to have. Never, like, the fact that they're able to trade out of the first round and get a first round pick for that's a steal. Because imagine if the Falcons just aren't good this year, right? The Falcons, imagine the Falcons gave the Rams a top 10 pick this year. The Rams will have easily found their franchise guy, and it didn't cost them much. It's a thought that's been going around that I've been having, and there's no pressure for the Rams to do good this year. They can do whatever they need to do necessary. They'll be an entertaining team. They'll be all that, right? But what's the one thing that they're really lacking in is, honestly, it's the quarterback position. If you mentioned that, if Stafford can't play a full 60-game season, a 17-game season, right? Then why didn't they just move off of him, right? Because there's no way you're not moving off of Stafford if you damn well know he's giving you 17 games. So the Rams clearly must know something, because if anything, this is the perfect year to just punt to next season, right? Like, this is the perfect year. You have the ammunition to get the franchise quarterbacks in next year's draft class, which is going to be significantly better than last year's. It's not 2024 good, but it is way better than this upcoming year. I mean, Lenore Sellers, Garrett Nurssemeyer, Drew Aller. I'm really high on Fernando Mendoza. Like, there are some guys who, if they have phenomenal seasons this year, they're gonna be in the prime position to get a franchise quarterback. Sure, it might not need to be the first overall pick, right? Doesn't need to be the first overall pick, but they have the right pieces to make a huge impact for their future. And with how good Sean McVay, like, the fact that Sean McVay didn't retire is the perfect sign. And those rumors have been stomped down. The Rams are going to be incredibly good this year. And the fact that Jared Verse might be Aaron Donald 2.0, god damn it, I hate that. The Rams are in a position to be successful for the long term, and that horrifies me. It doesn't matter if Matthew Stafford can play a full 17 games. They're not worried about that. I bet you they'd be totally fine if even Jimmy Garoppolo started all 17 games this year. They'd be fine with it. They're content with whatever happens. If we make it to the playoffs, great. If we don't make it to the playoffs, that's okay. We have enough ammunition to trade up and get a franchise quarterback. And with the Rams, that's whatever happens this year. So as much as we were like, oh my god, Matthew Stafford's not going to play a full 17 games, does it really matter? You're going to be getting a new quarterback next year, so I mean, this year feels like it's one of those years where you just don't sweat the small stuff and you just sit back and relax. Will you be competitive? Sure. Could you not be competitive? Sure. Do you trust Sean McVay to develop a young quarterback? I do. Are you kidding me? I trust my life to that guy to develop a young quarterback, man. So yeah, I hate how good Sean McVay is as a coach. My one saving grace that could make this all wrong is if McVay retires, but I don't see that happening. I hate McVay. He's gonna be coaching this for 100 fucking end of the day.
It's just, this Rams team's well built. I think they can overcome struggles. But the issue is, out of all the teams, their biggest struggle is something of concern. Because at least the Cardinals still have everyone relatively healthy. At least the Niners have some semblance of it. You have your entire season dangling, like, in front of you. And I get that you probably wouldn't mind if you lost. But the issue is, with how strong the NFC is getting, if getting that new quarterback isn't going to be an impact thing, this team will have to wait at least 3 or 4 years for that next pick, because a rookie quarterback has never won a Super Bowl since Ben Roethlisberger.
It's not about winning a Super Bowl. It's again, I'm not saying you draft a quarterback, you win Super Bowl next year. I'm saying you're going to draft a quarterback and be a successful team for the next 10 to 15 years. Again,
right? Yeah, I know that.
Do you trust Sean McVay in developing a young quarterback? Yes or no?
Right, yeah, I'm just saying,
So,
I don't think they like their Super Bowl window closing this soon, because they legitimately probably shouldn't have won another one. The issue is, I don't think they like it.
It's going to be half opened. And again, with how their GM is, if the Super Bowl window is as wide open as it was in 2020, they're going to throw every asset in trading for guys to help them get there. This is a regime that is going to be aggressive in getting players. They've been proven to that ever since Sean McVay is. They're not afraid to sign guys to an extension and then a season later cut them and eat the dead cap. They're not afraid to do that. They have no fear in the Rams organization. So and again, the reason they said they wanted to trade out of the first round so that they could find a guy that they could draft in the upcoming draft this year. They have the ammunition. And it's not going to be an immediate success. I'm not saying they're winning the Super Bowl. I'm saying getting a young quarterback is going to allow them to still be an 11 to 12 win team. Because
I get that. I was just more or less saying that I think if you're the Rams, you're at least somewhat disappointed in the fact that with the whole Matthew Stafford trade, you were only able to get one ring out of him. And I'm saying that's more or less you have to be at least a little bit disappointed in which the season is going to go if they don't do it this year, because then you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for the window to be open again. That's what I was more or less trying to say.
Okay. A little that's fair. A little bit longer, but like it's gonna be an exciting a little bit longer. Getting a young new quarterback, that's exciting. And if he does well, you're gonna be ecstatic about the future. Imagine if you were able to draft a Jared Goff, but this Jared Goff would actually hit. It was like a grand slam pick, right? To be fair, the Rams might draft a bust, and I will laugh hysterically. But this is where I just see where the Rams' direction is. This year is a whatever year. We miss the playoffs? Whatever. Oh well, they're okay with literally punting this year. And to your point, if you're saying you're a little bit disappointed with just the one Super Bowl, that's fair. That is fair. How many NFC Conference Championships did they make?
I think 2.
2? I don't think I'd be disappointed.
True. That too.
I mean, you
Yeah,
got a ring out of it.
Mhm.
You made 2 NFC Conference Championships. You were an extremely competitive team, and you will be an even more extremely competitive team for the long term. I don't think how you're disappointed. If anything, like if you're a hardcore Rams fan, that's like, man, you don't know what you look at this. It depends how you look at the outlook. If you look in the short term for the Rams, this shit sucks. If you look at this in the long term, I look at this potentially a Rams dynasty that could potentially be emerging. It's what your out depends what your outlook of this team is. And
Right. It's just the time in the NFL is so weird because 3 years feels forever, but it also feels like last year. It also feels like yesterday. That's just kind of how it is in the NFL landscape. And honestly, with how most teams are nowadays, the Rams were very much a win now strategy team. But the issue is they never stopped winning. Now, I don't think they're going to ever fire McVay, but we also have to keep in mind too,
Please fire
McVay may
McVay.
also just want to hang it up because he has a nice, swanky Amazon Prime job as soon as he's done coaching.
100%. You're 100% right about that. But think of it this way: if you have a chance, if like the only way I see McVay leaving is if the Rams look around and they go, "Fuck, we gotta blow this up," but they don't have to right now, right? They're long term. If you're McVay, right, that's one of the things that really helps the Rams in this case is those rumors. They have significantly quieted down. They're not as loud as they were. Like, what was it, like when after they won the Super Bowl, the year after they won the Super Bowl, right? They're not as
After
loud as that.
2022.
Yeah, they're not. They've significantly quieted down until they start, so until the gears start going up again. Then I'll start believing. But right now, I think McVay is going to be a coach that's going to be tenured for the LA Rams for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure this organization will make sure they're able to keep McVay for a very, very long time. So, and the one day he'll leave the Rams, but I don't think it's in the immediate future. So, and especially like think of it, you're McVay, you guys have ammunition to draft and develop another quarterback with a high ceiling. That's kind of juicy. That's enough motivation, in my opinion, that says, you know what, I want to stick. I want to see this through and stick around. That's where I see That's where I see like where Sean McVay, where his head is at right now. I see that there's more reasons to just stick around and see what happens with this team than it is to just hang it up. So
Fair enough.
Does Matthew Stafford play all 17? Eh. They still have a crazy good pieces around him. Whatever happens. And then to go up next point, they did start off very sluggishly. They had a bye week where they got all their reinforcements back, and they hit it off very well. So there's a lot to think about the Rams, but as long as Sean McVay is there, this team will never say die.
That's fair, I guess. Well, floors and ceilings? Unless anyone had
6
something
and 11,
else.
on to the next.
I feel like as someone as a team in the like this division, I should like give my rough like opinions about this team. As I really don't want to come into this like with like feels and all like with as an emotion based because I for the longest time I've seen this like a team as the boogeyman as in the division like towards my team and what was I gonna say? I Hold on. I'm losing train of thought. Let me just say this. In terms of their this year, in terms of this year, assuming Stafford's healthy and everything clicks, they have the smoothest ride, not towards like the conference, because I get they're in contention there if they're good, but in terms of the division, they have the smoothest ride to winning and being the most competitive team, or the most competent team in the NFC West play in terms of playoffs. On paper, they're the best team. And I get from a third party perspective, they've gotten blown out like earlier in the season, but on paper, I would go as far to say that Stafford would be like the status on Stafford would be the linchpin on how the entire division would go, because if everything's steady for them, they should be the most they were the most complete team last year, and I'm expecting them to be the same way with assuming that they have Stafford. It was almost like, and we're gonna compare them to like the upcoming team anyway. So yeah, let's do floors and ceilings.
What were they?
That's it.
Oh.
For my floor and ceiling, an injury-ridden 5-win without injuries 7, 14-win ceiling.
Repeat.
I
6
guess-
and 11, and on to the next.
I didn't say mine.
Yeah,
well,
you're up.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can say yours. I'm just referencing what
I thought you said.
Main
I thought you said you were on to the. I thought you said on to the next, like to the fucking like
No,
in like
yeah,
the next team.
I'm mirroring what.
My bad. But go ahead.
You're fine.
I mean, probably the floor mainly without Stafford is probably 6, and for the ceiling with Stafford maybe like a 13, maybe. I don't know. But I do not count on Stafford being available that much this year.
I'm in the same boat. I think the floor for this team, 5 wins. Ceiling for this team, definitely 12.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Like, I think in terms of like a floor 5 and a ceiling of 12, like floor would definitely be if Stafford's, his back problems are bad as they could be. So in that case, it would be very similar to how 2022 went for the Rams. Like after winning the Super Bowl the year prior, basically everyone on that team got hurt, and that was basically the product of what an injury-riddled Rams team would look like. But in terms of ceiling, 12 to 13 is doable if everything goes right for the Rams. And by everything, I more just mean Matthew Stafford having, playing to his fullest ability in what could be his last season.
Ren?
6-10. Floor
Okay.
6, 10 wins.
Okay. Well, last but not least, we saved the best for last, and it's going to be fun talking about this team because we have 2.5 people vested in the half being me.
I think we spent more time on the other teams than we are going to be on the whatever. I forget the CL.
Yes.
I'm on the Bears.
Yeah, my
God,
own.
no, the NFC North. We're gonna spend at least 5 hours. Probably not, but still. Well, for notable additions for the
This is
Seattle.
1980. That would be 1984 for real, actually.
Yeah. But notable additions for the Seattle Seahawks. Big boy transaction. Sam Darnold. You have linebacker Ernest Jones. Who resigned. You have defensive line Jaron Reed who resigned. Wide receiver from the Rams Cooper Kupp. You have cornerback Shaquille Griffin from the Vikings. You have wide receiver Marcus Valdez-Scantling from the Saints. It seems like he's been everywhere. Cornerback Josh Jobe re-signed. Tight end Eric Saubert from the Niners. Jonathan Hankins re-signed. Michael Dixon signed an extension. Drew Lock re-signed as well. And Uchenna Nwosu with a re-sign. And to finish it all off, not much else. Now to go for some notable leaves. First things first, we have Laken Tomlinson to go to the Texans, offensive guard. We have Geno Smith being traded to the Raiders. We have DK Metcalf being traded to the Steelers. We have Tyler Lockett going to the Titans. We have Draymond Jones, defensive line, going to the Titans. We have Noah Fant going to the tight end, going to the Bengals. We have safety Rayshon Jenkins going to the Browns. He was the guy that I think got called out during the Browns game the other day. We have offensive tackle Stone Forsythe going to the Giants. We have defensive line Roy Robertson Harris going to the Giants, Bear legend. We have cornerback Trey Brown going to the Niners. And then we have tight end Pharaoh Brown going to the Dolphins. And we also have Sam Howell getting traded to the Vikings. Now time for their draft picks. With their first round pick, they draft North Dakota State University offensive line Gray Zabel. In the next round, they draft in the second round they draft safety Nick Omenawari from South Carolina. In the next round, tight end out of University of Miami. We have Elijah Aurora. With a surprising pick in the third round, the Seattle Seahawks select Jalen Milroe. In the fourth round, they select defensive end Riley Mills from Notre Dame. From the next round, they draft wide receiver Torrey Holton from Colorado State. From Alabama, we have the one and only fullback Robbie Utz. From I believe that's Kansas. Yeah, from Kansas we have guard Bryce Kabudul. I have no idea how to say that. They also draft in the 7th round running back Damian Martinez, a sneaky good pickup. In the 7th round, they also select another Iowa offensive line. Not another, but they selected an Iowa offensive lineman, Mason Richmond. And last but not least, in my opinion, one of the sneakiest steals of the draft, and Nick will agree with me, wide receiver Ricky White III from UNLV.
True.
Well,
That's a truth nuke.
I want to talk about the Seahawks, but there's 2 Seahawks fans here, and I'm not going to let them be interrupted. So, Seahawks fans, unite and yap.
All right,
All right, I'm gonna go brush my teeth now. Oh, we are back, chat.
Here we go. The moment I've been waiting for, and the moment everybody has been dreading. Okay. All right. So, as everyone knows, I am a Seahawks fan. I've been a Seahawks fan for a very long time. And optimism, is my optimism there? It kinda is, but it kinda isn't. For now, right? Is it great that we got Sam Darnold? It's interesting, I'll tell you that. But the way how we see Seattle is we finally feel like we have the offensive identity that this team has been long, and I mean long It's been a long time, and they've been waiting a very long time for this. They have been wanting to pound the rock. It seems like since 2020, whether it's Russell Wilson or Geno Smith, they've been running away from the identity that has made the Seahawks very successful. And that is an aggressive running attack that knocks people off on their ass. And they seemingly, I guess they have that with the offensive coordinator and Clint Kubiak, and so far in the preseason, from what I've seen, they want to be that team. And that's what I'm trying to be hopeful for, is that this rushing attack is everything that we needed to see from it. Because if this rushing attack is really good, watch out, the Seahawks are hashtag back. And I will be insufferable the entire time. The 12 are going to be insufferable the entire time, for goodness sakes. Now, there's a lot of things that happened in this offseason that needs to be recapped. I think the first and most important part, they traded away Geno Smith. Geno Smith thought he was worth more money. Seattle said, we don't think so. They traded him away to the Raiders. The surprising thing was DK Metcalf requesting a trade, and they obliged to it. They sent him to Pittsburgh. Alrighty. That was a stunning move. And I think a lot of Seahawks fans were like, oh my goodness. This is it. This is over. We're gonna start tanking. Back of my mind, I'm celebrating because, good lord, I've been wanting this team to suck and tank to get a franchise quarterback for the longest time. Because, I don't see it here. But then free agency starts. They win the Darnold sweepstakes, and for a contract that's not bad, actually. It's a very nice, very, very good contract that, if it does become a Matt Flynn, they can snip McGlip and bye-bye after 1 year. Without much consequences towards the cap, which is quite good. So, on to the draft. I think the draft was quite successful. You bring in guys like Craig Zabel, you Presley trip for Nick Emerwardy, Elijah Arroyo was super motivated. You could even, if you really look at the draft call between him and the Seahawks, he's like, yo, get me the playbook, let's get started. I love that motivation, right? And Jalen Milroe in the 3rd round? Sure, because I see flashbacks of Russell Wilson. I see flashes of Russell Wilson. I see the Russell Wilson that's there, and I think he fits the offensive philosophy that the Seahawks are having. I think it's great. I think getting Cody Bolton out of Colorado State, I think that might be the big steal that more people need to talk about. I think getting him is a huge steal, and he's been awesome in the preseason so far. So keep an eye on him, which, unfortunately, if he arises, Jake Bobo's done after this. It's done. Probably does not make the final roster, which, fortunately, we'll have to say goodbye to the Untitled Sickos Project's favorite, Jake Bobo. So
would be unfortunate.
Would be very unfortunate. Big piece of note, they cut Noah Fant after OTAs, which was a surprising move. And they inked John Schneider to an extension. I think a lot of people are really, there are more people questioning about this, but one thing to note about Judy Allen is that she really, really trusts John Schneider to guide the Seahawks into the right direction. And I do not see him I don't think he'll ever get fired as a GM of the Seahawks. Like, I'm telling you, this is how much she really trusts him to guide the team. It's to an insane degree. Now we get to the favorite part, Luke's diagram. Now, good news. We signed Sam Darnold. What is Sam Darnold realistically going to look like, right? Which way is the pendulum gonna swing? Is the pendulum gonna swing towards Matt Flynn, where I mean that's the worst side of it, right? I don't think it gets worse than not being able to play a single game because the rookie beat you in training camp. I don't think it can get worse than that. Or does the pendulum swing the other way to Matt Hasselbeck? Matt Hasselbeck was an extremely serviceable quarterback during his time with the Seahawks. He was really good. Seattle consistently made the playoffs. They made a Super Bowl. That was with Matt Hasselbeck. And of course, during that time, they never had an elite pass catcher. They relied a lot heavily on the ground and pound attack, which is kind of what you're kind of bringing in when you bring in Clint Kubiak. You have this philosophy of ground and pound and a bunch of talented receivers to really complement your quarterback, but they're not going to be the focus of attack here. So if Darnold becomes Matt Hasselbeck 2.0, I don't think any Seahawks fan should be complaining. Like, if Darnold has the absolute electric arm to get it done, you have Matt Hasselbeck again. Which, again, I feel like most Seahawks fans, like the bandwagoner Seahawks fans, or the Seahawks fans that got into it during the Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson era, didn't really see how really good Matt Hasselbeck was. And that's where it's like, if Darnold is Hasselbeck 2.0, I won't be complaining, because this is exactly what you need if you're Seattle. This is a guy that's going to be. We've been asking for a guy that can be under center for the Seahawks for at least 5 years, and if Darnold is just that, the guy that's going to be manning the ship for the next 5 years, nobody's going to be complaining. And I will consider that move of signing Darnold in free agency to be a huge success. But also, the pendulum could swing the other way, and he's more like a free agent signing that doesn't play out his contract. We have to move off of him and try again. Now, what I've noticed with Darnold is he thrives under excellent coaching, right? We saw how bad Adam Gase was. Adam Gase was a total bum. His offensive style relied on play development that took way too long to develop, that never gave the quarterback very much time to wait in the pocket to make a play. So he was a total bust there. Matt Rule couldn't even figure out the word offense in Carolina. Defenses were good, but could never figure out offense, right? You take a year, you learn under Kyle Shanahan, and then you go to Minnesota, where you learn under Kevin O'Connell, and your mechanics are reworked. You look like a completely different quarterback than you were 4 years ago. You look like the quarterback that the Jets wish they got, right? You looked amazing. Now, what does Seattle look like, right? Sure, Clint Kubiak is going to be focusing more on the run, which means, what is their passing game coordinator going to look like? What is their quarterback coach going to look like, right? Like, Mike McDonald's going to be completely hands off the offense. So a lot of the key factors is the offensive coaching staff. And what can Darnold do? Can Darnold thrive with this current passing group? If he can, it is going to be an excellent thing. But if these guys really can't elevate Darnold up, it's going to be a season where we're likely going to move off of him. And I don't think we're going to see Jalen Milroe develop under this cast either. I think it's going to be one of these attempts where, crap, the guys that we brought in in this offense didn't work out, and you're going to be firing again the OC, and I think Mike McDonald is at risk of getting cut here. Because if you're great at becoming like a really good defensive-minded guy, where you've got all the defensive pieces firing off on all cylinders, but yet your offense is a patchwork job that is so horrible, right? That won't work in the NFL. You're going to be what Robert Saleh was for the Jets. It is a total, complete patchwork of teams, of ideals that you think could work on paper, but never really pan out. Now, to Jalen Milroe. I like the fact that we got Jalen Milroe in the first third round and took a quarterback in free agency, because if the NFL is funny and likes to be the repetitive nature it is, Jalen Milroe will be the franchise quarterback because it's hilarious how it works out. Now, what does the pendulum look like for Jalen Milroe? Well, the pendulum swinging the high side. Russell Wilson, franchise QB, Super Bowl winning quarterback, really good. Was really good, and Jalen Milroe's play style fits it, but without like the cannon arm Russell Wilson had. Russell Wilson threw a really good deep ball, which is what really helped him in his early years. You've heard those years where he had Doug Baldwin and Sidney Rice. He was those were great passes that he was doing. He was able to never underestimate his deep ball. That was one of the things that really helped him in his early days at Seattle. And if Jalen Milroe can figure that out, then that's awesome, because here's your franchise quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years potentially. Or does the pendulum swing the other way and you get more of Seneca Wallace, a reliable backup to where if a quarterback gets injured, he can start games for you for 2 to 3 games a year, where he's reliable enough in the very short term. So that's kind of where I kind of see the Seahawks right now. The key to this team is the trenches. They invest heavily in their defensive line, and it's been better, but I feel like it's never played up to really its ceiling, in that where it could be like the absolute shit wrecker that people are afraid to face every single year, to where they force your quarterback to throw the ball early, and then you have this elite secondary that's going to make you pay for every single mistake that you make on them. Like, Nick Emirati might look like a Cam Chancellor, and that is huge for Seattle. That is incredibly huge to have. And again, Mike McDonald's defense is heavily aggressive on the ball. And then don't forget, you got Dalvin Witherspoon, who fits this aggressive mindset that he has. My big hope is that Byron Murphy breaks out. He had an awful rookie season. The hope is that he can break out this year, because if he doesn't, that is going to stink, because this guy was the second best defensive player in the draft, and he's looking like more of a bust than a hit. That's not super good. But you do have Big Cat, Dexter Lawrence. When they got him on that team, the defensive line changed overnight. Getting Ernest Jones, their linebacker core looked great. And what Mike McDonald
You mean Leonard
wants,
Williams, right?
Yeah, Leonard Williams. Sorry, my bad. Leonard Williams. Sorry, my bad. They want you to finish tackles and to finish plays. That's how Mike McDonald wants his defense to run. So that's where I don't think it's a problem. The biggest question mark, offensive line. Great. I like Gary Zabel, and so far in the preseason, he's looked awesome. But can Charles Cross take that elite step to become like a Walter Jones-esque type? Because I think they've got like 3 to 4 really good pieces that can, if they play up to it, this O-line's not going to be a problem, especially if you're going to run this smash mouth aggressive style run game that's going to open the play action for Darnold to give him a lot of time to throw it to guys like GSN, for Cup, MVS, right? Like, they've got guys that can get open and able to get the rock. Like, this is going to be potentially, if Darnold is that Matt Hasselbeck 2.0, this Seahawks team is going to be very, very good. But it's all going to be on where this offensive coaching staff is, right? Because if you're kind of top 10 in the run, but like your passing game is just as weak as the running game was last year, you're going to be very one-dimensional, and we're going to be right where we are, 9-8 or 10-7, and not in the playoffs to do a damn thing. This team has been stuck in limbo for the past 4 years, ever since Russell Wilson's at the start of Russell Wilson's last year in Seattle, right? This team has been in limbo, and that's just the worst team. That's just the worst spot to be in. You're too good to realistically tank for like that top 10 pick, but like you're not good enough to make the dance. And so you're in this state of limbo where, I mean, look at key games last year. Look at the games where the Bills came into town. The Packers, the Vikings, right? This is the 12th fucking man, for God's sakes, right? And we're being overrun by opposing fans, right? That's to show you how much local interest in the team is starting to just, we're waiting for the next guy to really be on board with here in Seattle. So
it's very fun to chant "Go Pack, Go" at an away game, quite as loud as they did it.
Yeah, that's what happened in Seattle, right? They've changed their ticketing policy a lot. That they're gonna keep an eye if you're giving tickets away. They're not gonna allow season ticket holders to renew their season ticket. They've made that change, so hopefully that discourages them to at least sell it to opposing fans. But I read a lot of comments online. There's a lot of Seahawks fans that are pissed off, and the response is, this team, it doesn't really motivate me to go to their games, so I'm just gonna sell the tickets. Like, that's where the Seahawks are.
I will just say that in terms of the ticket pricing thing, most of that is just because fair weather fans exist in damn near every aspect. And ironically enough, Seattle is just one of those markets where they have a shit ton of them. Like, I know that, like, there are diehard Seahawks fans, but, like, look at the Mariners. Like, remember when the Mariners were just, like, the absolute fucking worst? They only come out when they're good, which is shitty and sucks. But the Seahawks are just one of those kind of teams that do that.
I think I think it's more of like even with like Mariners games, right? It's like with the tickets. If you look at the ticket sales from 2022, 2023 to 2024, right? They went up in 2021, 2022. They were selling out a lot of games. There's a lot of interest. They call it the Electric Factory. But then what happened is when the organization really never did anything to bring people on board, people lost interest in the team. And look what they did at the deadline. They bought at the deadline, and guess what? Fans are coming back into the stands. They're getting bums in seats. So yes, I do think Seattle is a very fair weather fan kind of state to where they really don't care unless you're winning games. And that just might be the sports market in Seattle. And that's
be honest, I think that's honestly, I was just gonna say honestly, in that case where it's like they will show up for winners, they won't show up if you're not winning. I honestly, granted, there are definitely a lot of like bandwagoners and fair weather fans, but I also feel like honestly that's a mentality I can understand in terms of how ticket prices are. Like, unless you're seeing a winning product, you kind of don't want to spend all that money. I can understand it.
As the inner sportsman in me is so fucking shitty, because as someone who doesn't live in a big market town and has to drive all the way, you want to know how nice it is to afford a non fucking arm and a leg ticket. Like, it is damn near impossible to get a decent seat in Chicago, because half the time people are only going to be selling their tickets if they're like, if like the Bears are like 13 or like 3-13 or some shit like that. And it's so annoying to me, because it's like, I get this has nothing to do with the Seahawks and shit, but fuck, man, the whole fair weather fan shit pisses me off, because Just go to the fucking game. It's a game. It takes 3 hours out of your day. You shouldn't be using that as your shitty little fucking nest egg investment. You should be using that to support the team that you paid money for. And I
here's the
get the
thing:
whole,
if you're
they paid money
using
for
that
the
shit to basically just try and rob people of their money because, oh, look at me, I own a ticket, I'm not going to this game, but you can go to this game if you give me your entire house. Yeah, that's shitty, and you can go fuck yourself. Like, if you're doing crap like that, yeah, that is shithead behavior.
But yeah, more back onto the Seahawks. How much left you got, Luke? Because
Oh, you guys,
I
think I ended off with
gotcha. Freeman, you now have the floor before the half fan says something.
Is my mic working? I've been muted.
Yeah, everything's working fine.
Okay, where do I even begin? Man, what a wild card year we're about to witness with a gutted and restructured offense. And there's a couple ways I could go about this. Let's just talk about this season and the realistic goal that this team should make. There's and I disagree with this take. For the past Luke said 5 years or so, oh my god, how long have we been eating off of that 48-49 Super Bowl appearance run? We have a lot of hype to meet up. Because of that branding, of being fairly recent Super Bowl winners, we're expected to be playoff contenders with semi deep playoff runs, say divisional, even though we haven't gone past it for the past over 10 years. That's our big problem. Let's talk about the roster. If we're since it's new, they're gonna make the go with, and just to be easy, I'll just knock the biggest the biggest the biggest thing. I forgot the saying, but the biggest elephant in the room, Sam Darnold. It's I don't think this is that controversial of a move. It's like Luke said, Gino wanted more money, and we didn't think it was worth it. This is our next best option. For the money that we're paying him. With let me think. I think it's our goal, because it's thrown around that this is a lateral move, and I'm kind of saying that, and that is, people aren't realizing that's kind of the fucking point because of the aforementioned reason. We don't want to pay Gino for that that much. We don't want to renew his contract, and that's kind of the goal here. Can he just play up to par and be consistent and move up to that that playoff contender echelon that I believe we haven't reached yet. He obviously has weapons to use. We don't have nothing. Losing DK sucked, but he one one generational draft pick doesn't gonna carry the whole team. So I'm not really tripping over that. Smith and Jigba, one of the best slot receivers in the league. Cooper Kupp, please stay healthy for the whole season. I really want to see a future where you ball out in your fucking hometown. And MVS, I don't know. Back to Darnold. Another like main like goal here is to see how he does under the O-line, at least for like the short term. If we're talking about this year, the ultimate litmus test for him is immediately how he'll fare in Seattle's roster with that line, because his collapse in the the latter half of the season, like the very end of the season, and in the playoffs wasn't looking so pretty, and it's pretty like fitting that the Rams of all teams were the ones who did them in with their goddamn defense. And that's kind of part of the key thing here is that we have to see him do that again twice in the regular season at minimum. So we in layman's terms for this season, I'm just hoping he just fills in the gap in the same manner as Gino did for this season. And for the defense and coaching, I'm just best I could do is just let everything fall into place. Like Mike McDonald was known like in Baltimore for being like a front guy. I really hope like Luke said, we'll reach that ceiling and we'll get the defense we were hoping to get with him. And yeah, I'll of course I'll comment more later, but yeah, that's what it takes for this team to be playoff contenders this year, because going this division, like with the Rams, even with the Rams and Niners, we're gonna we have to work hard for. Taegan, you can go ahead now.
All good, all good. So I'm a partial Seahawks fan only because my mother is one, and I mostly keep up with it so that way I can have her be informed. The thing is with this team, it's just I think this is the most like well-rounded team, oddly enough. Like I think there's a lot of like B's here. There's a lot of really good B's on the offense, and there's a couple of A's on the defense. And I think in a division where the B's definitely matter right now because the rest of them have like question marks and everything, I think this team is easily a good contender to winning the division because they went 10-7 last year. Granted, the Rams basically didn't play their starters in the last game, but still they went 10-7. They missed the playoffs due to some bullshit tiebreak. The Seahawks, in my opinion, aren't going to be a bad team, but they're not at the level where they are good or Super Bowl contenders. Sam Darnold might be the needle pusher, but the issue is we don't know how he'll act, especially since he's only had one season in Minnesota. Now, I think definitely Darnold is one of those people that can benefit from a really good system, because look when he was in Carolina. He had a great stretch where the Carolina defense played amazing and he looked like he was winning games. When he was in Minnesota, when he had a great defense, he was able to manage the clock and not have to risk anything because he knew that he always had his defense. And I think he has something there in Seattle that'll work. And he definitely has the weapons there too. Just after that, it's rough. I don't know. They're a weird team, but I just feel oddly optimistic about them because at least compared to the Niners, don't see and like Reddit's other sprout. In which Sam Howell could easily just step up and like play a couple games, and he might show something because Sam Howell, boy, that Commanders team he played on, that was not a football team. Oh right, yeah. I forgot they traded Howell to the Vikings. I completely forget about that. But no, Drew Lock, I mean, I will still stand by this. He is a decent stopgap QB. He's not amazing, but I think that he could get the job done in Seattle, especially considering he's got something in him. He just has to have the team around him. And ironically enough, that's the kind of quarterback Darnold is. Except Darnold's a lot more questionable. But other than that, I guess I would just say mostly about the Seahawks. I have faith in them more than any other team. But this team could easily also just blow up because the whole Darnold thing is eek. Anyone had anything else?
So I actually went. I was at a 7-Eleven before. Oh, like I walked from my house to a 7-Eleven and back, and like Luke and Freeman were still talking. That's kind of funny.
Nah,
Anyways,
it's good.
anyways,
Also, Freeman, we can hear the
fucking-
stream.
anyways, I don't know much about the Seahawks at this point in time because like they're just I think it's like a problem with like the Cardinals, but like to a much lesser degree. They're just there. Like I could see them in a wild card position, but I feel like all that depends on if Sam Darnold continues with whatever with like his previous like Vikings form instead of like his last 3 games. But I don't know. I don't see them like being anything other than like a wild card exit. You know, that at least that's what I think.
I think Devin. I don't think they have Super Bowl ambitions this year because the only way that happens is if Sam Darnold plays like an MVP. But here's the thing: they just need progress and something to sustain on. They have nothing to worry about as long as they don't regress. I think they'll be fine because winning the division isn't the end all be all. No,
yeah,
they
just been coasting off like mediocrity for like the past like 5 years or so. I just don't know how long it can last at this point. You know,
like Seattle's in the worst place it could be. We're in the worst spot. Being in limbo sucks.
like I thought they felt like they were probably gonna punt the season with when they started Geno, but like Geno was started winning, and the Seahawks started winning, and now they're kind of just stuck now in this like good but not good enough like state, you know.
Yeah, I see
They're
it.
kind of like where
Hello?
the no, we're here. I was just gonna say they're kind of like where the I always just say this, but they're kind of like where like the Saints were post not Drew Brees, but like the last 1 or 2 years where they're good. They're not great. Like they can make the playoffs 100%. But like, what do you expect them to do when they go up against an Eagles, a Detroit, a Minnesota, a Green Bay, Commanders? Like, it's not that this team is bad. I just don't think they're built enough yet to win those games because they don't have those A+ players on
Yeah,
offense.
I mean, and that's fair. That's fair. It's just I don't think that's where they're gonna be at. I think that's not the level for them to be at yet. I feel like this season, if you're Seattle, I feel like the goal is you gotta get back to the playoffs. And I think they have the roster to get back there, especially on defense. I trust their defense. It's just all the questions are on offense. You know, like here's the thing. God. Sorry, I'm just my internet's being a little a little shaky, so I'll just get this out quickly. Like my expectation is just I'm expecting Darnold to be mid, but I do think even if Darnold is mid, I still think the Seahawks can do enough considering the defense that I think they will have and their run game. It really just comes down to Darnold and the O-line.
Darnold might be a very empowering mid. Like not like a derogatory mid, but like he's mid. He's not amazing. Go ahead, Freeman.
That's why I said like from this move. I'm not paying attention. I'm hoping that it's basically a lateral move, and since Darnold's younger, he'll just like gradually like mold with the team, assuming the sense of
like what he was
comes
doing
together. Yeah.
What's up? Fair enough.
I don't hear him.
What's going on?
What's up?
Well, what the fuck is what?
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 Did my Discord
if you're
crash?
listening to I hear K-Main talk, but
what the fuck?
I feel like I'm going insane. What is it?
What? Did we just get into like the room or something?
I'm not talking. I haven't said anything for like 15 minutes.
God,
What's happening?
Are we
oh
all
God,
going like critic? Are we just...
I think talking about the NFC.
Who's the floor next?
Fuck the.
Who wants
the fuck. The floor is Sam
Floor.
Darnold. Wait, no.
Floor, fine. God.
No. Like who wants to keep going?
I don't know if
keep
the
your train of
Seahawks
thought
are going-
going. Whoever had the last train of
Who
thought,
wants to keep on
going.
talking? Fuck.
I can tell the Seahawks O-line is bad because I watched the Packers get like 6 sacks on them, and most of those came in before Sam Howell had to come in relief of an injured Geno Smith. Watching that live was an interesting experience. God, this team is also might be in the 9-8 coded division, but they are 9 coded to me. Sam Darnold is genuinely a downgrade at quarterback. I think KOC is just doing a good enough job at covering up Darnold's weaknesses, which unfortunately he ran out of the sauce in like week 13 and shit the bed against the Jacksonville Jaguars of all teams, where he threw like 3 picks to the worst pass defense in the fucking league.
Here's the thing about that, though. I don't think Darnold was. I don't think KOC was covering Darnold enough to where they go like 14-3, or was it 15-2? I don't
that's
remember.
where the wide receivers come in.
Again, I don't think that's it, though. I think definitely he covered up some flaws, but I don't think Sam Darnold didn't do anything to elevate that to a 14-3 team. More than likely, this was like a 11-win team, and Darnold's play slightly elevated them a bit. I think he's a downgrade from Geno, but I don't think he's that much of a downgrade from Geno.
I don't think he's fixing the Seahawks' flaws when I don't think the Seahawks got that much better. I think you're just arranging deck chairs on the Titanic that is that wide.
I feel like this year is just so much
You
of
lost-
a wait and see approach. Like the Russian
lost-
game looks great so far. Like it's looked like they have like in the first quarter of the Chiefs game they ran over 100. They ran over 100 yards within the first half in back-to-back preseason games. So it's what they have.
But he's not in a preseason game.
I know you're absolutely right, but this is not with the ones, right? This is not with the ones. And again, remember, preseason it is basic concepts. You're running the most basic concepts on offense, and you're seeing if it's worked. And it's a sign that this group of players have responded to it positively so far. Could they completely slip on the banana peel and tumble? Oh, absolutely. Hell yeah, absolutely. You could totally be right in that assumption. But I'm a little bit more optimistic the more I see this offense start to click together. And one of the things that has been a good sign that is positive is you have there's a really good beat writer, Greg Bell, former he was I believe in the military, former military man, USA. I always liked him when Sakaris and Price brought him in for the radio show. And he's always been genuine and real with what the Seahawks were. And one of the things that he has noted importantly, he has said it's sure there are some days where Darnold looks awful, but the next day they come back and they respond they've been able to respond positively the next day. Like they look like a different unit the next day. So it's a sign that's either going to be a lot of hot and cold, or it's going to be something where like they're looking at trying to see if they can break through you're trying to get stronger. Fuck. And we like we're looking at this going.
Nothing. It's kind of just me. Sorry about.
That's okay.
You're fine. Holy shit! Is Discord just like bugging the fuck out for everyone right now? I think Discord is like bugging for everyone.
Yeah, just be careful.
I assume
be careful to your mics and listening to Tic Tacs.
Also, I just noticed Ren's new profile picture.
Just beware.
Fuck, it's the horse.
I've been playing the game like since the start of stream. I was so tempted to.
Are you kidding
me?
Oh
God, he's obsessed.
On Discord.
Are you kidding me? You too?
Listen, nigga, there's nothing I was gonna really do this time. I got 2.5 Seahawks fans here. I didn't get this time when we did the Falcons. I'm just letting everyone else yap, and I'll come in, say a few dirty jokes, and keep it moving. So just here to be the peanut gallery god. That is my contribution.
Oh
right
God.
Now. Anyways, the Seahawks. They're going to be either they're winning the division or being second in the division. That's my input. Sam Darnold is simply that guy, that fella. So Seahawks either win the division or be second, but they can make some noise. I think they can make some noise in the NFC. They'll be not like what the Arizona is, but they'll be secretly good and be like, whoa, yo, check out Seattle. They're cooking. I don't know if it's gonna be a star meal. They're cooking something in Seattle that isn't meth and heroin.
No. God, fucking hell! Discord is having a seizure right now, dude. My connection is going from
oh my God, is this
30 ping?
Is Discord down?
I think we should.
I mean, Luke can still hear us.
I can still hear you guys. Nothing. You guys haven't been bugging out on my end. You guys are fine. But if we feel like if Discord's bugging out for
in case of need for expedition, I do
have
my incredibly researched floor and ceiling prepared if we need that.
Let's get to the floors and ceiling. I think as if we're gonna.
Let me guess, 6 and 11.
Yeah. Yep, that's my floor and ceiling.
What final thoughts on the Seahawks for anyone? Yeah, final thoughts for anyone for the Seahawks before Discord probably dies on us.
I hate the rainy city bitch pigeon. Come on, 2014 back.
And I hate you cheese-setting cunts up in Wisconsin. Next.
What does that have to do with
Imagine
anywho,
from fucking Jimmy Graham.
Imagine only winning one Super Bowl, two total Super Bowls with two quarterbacks. Couldn't be me.
Anyways.
Oh God.
Yes, because you only have one.
Oh, boo-hoo, cry me a fucking
Anyway.
river.
Anywho, my floor is. Go ahead, Matt.
My floor is 6. Sorry, I needed to break it up, okay? Break it up. And my
No,
ceiling.
you're fine. Discord's fucking us.
I mean, how the fuck do you do
My
this?
ceiling
You're putting
10,
the worst
I guess.
out in people. How the fuck do you do that?
We can't. No, like legitimately, Discord is just tweaking out for everyone here. No one is having a stable connection because this cast sucks. I'm gonna quickly get mine out before.
I hear people cutting out. I just see people like leaving shit. Like I'm just worried like something's fucking up on my end. I don't know.
No, it's everyone, dude. My Discord has been shaky.
People are listening. People
Believe
are
it or not,
voices.
I think we talked about the NFC West so much that that we've been sent the fucking ghosts of the NFC West. We've been sent Jerry Rice, Kurt Warner.
He's not dead.
Steve Largent.
He's not dead.
Yeah, that's the bit. And Larry Fitzgerald. They're all ghosts haunting the Discord, Carl.
These people are not dead.
Yes, that's the bit. That's the bit.
Who do you kin? Not
Oh God.
Oh God, Nick.
Force said ceiling 12.
Freeman, quick.
Floor is fucking 4. Ceiling's 10.
Ren, unless you said it already.
Floor. My floor is. My ceiling is.
Fucking as ever
6,
the wiser.
fucking 5 and 11.
Kamain already said 6 and 11. Luke, what's your floor and ceiling?
No,
I said 6 and 11.
I'm making their floor 5 and 12 just because the Seahawks fans have annoyed me.
Just because the Packers fans annoying me, the Packers can go eat a bag of dicks. Taegan, what have you done to me? God damn. Anyways,
I haven't done
thanks for
anything.
watching. If you like this, please hit that like button. Tomorrow we're gonna